So let's remove my ugly mug from the screen as well as this army blocker and take a look at what our players have brought us. Let's start off with our blue player who has brought the greenskin. So Migsaa here, bringing a rather large army. Troop count's going to be Skaven in ahead in the lead, but Greenskin's close behind. We're going to have 4 skirmish cav up front, 2 forest goblin spider riders, and 2 goblin wolf riders. We're going to have what appears to be 2 units of regular old goblins, 1, 2, 3 units, or 2 units of savage orc biggins, and 2 units of just regular old savage orcs. Aside from that, we will have the 8 peak loonies in the center for that unbreakable unit. He will have 2 trolls, 1 on either flank. I like that choice a lot. Got to get that mass in there. It's a very important thing. He'll have some orc boys up front to round out the infantry force. He's going to have 2 orc boar chariots and 1 goblin wolf chariot manned after my own heart. This is such a wonderful combination. 2 of my favorite units in the greenskin roster right there. Aside from this, we are going to have what appears to be a night goblin shaman. Going to be bringing... where'd you go? Night goblin shaman, vindictive glare, the wand of jet, as well as the madcap mushrooms, I think is what they're called. Ooh. Yep, madcap mushrooms and sneaky stillin'. For the final leader, we do have a Night Goblin War Boss, a very popular pick lately, and I do like the Night Goblin War Boss on his Squig Hopper. He's got the Wa as well as the Tormentor Sword. Now, going over our red player army, we are going to see ample amounts of Storm Vermin, it would seem. So 1, 2, and 3 units of Storm Vermin with Shield. Then you can have a Plague Monk and a Plague Monk Sensor Bear. Plague Monk Sensor Bear is very good with their debuff to leadership, magical damage, and armor piercing damage, so going to be a useful unit against Savage Orcs and Black Orcs. Romulan Dog, thank you so much for subscribing, friend. I appreciate it so much. Now we have 4 Skaven Slave Slingers, as well as 2 Skaven Slave Spears. Aside from that, we're going to see a Warp Lightning Cannon with another 3rd unit of Skaven Slave Spears protecting it. We're going to have a Hell Pit Abomination and a Doom Wheel, which should be fun to see in action. And then last but certainly not least, we will have Lord Skrulk himself. Lord Skrulk is going to be bringing Liber Babonicus, Pestilent Birth, Vermintide, as well as Aura of Pestilence and Plague Rash. Now, looking at the deployments for these 2 players, pretty straightforward. Greenskins are going to Vanguard deploy their Missile Cav, try to keep them sneaky, and harassing the flanks and potential Rat Ogres or Hell Pit Abominations, I imagine, is what he's looking out for. It looks like the Skaven's going for a very, very strong infantry game. Going to force him to him with the Warp Lightning Cannon. Then he's going to have 3 Storm Vermin, a Plague Monk Sensor Bear, and a Plague Monk, which will probably be more than enough to shred so much of this line. I'm really curious to see how they do get out in the infantry fight, but clearly mobility going in favor of the Greenskins. It's going to be very interesting to see how he uses these skirmish contingents and the chariots, of course, because I think one thing the Skaven didn't bring enough of is perhaps mass. We'll have to see if these Hell Pit Abomination and the Doom will be able to stop the cycle chariots from the Greenskins. And without further ado, guys, here we go. Hey, AWME or MC82, thank you so much. I appreciate it greatly. All right, here comes the battle, guys. Starting off firing, the Skaven are going to be shooting these trolls with the Warp Lightning Cannon. And look at that, a vindictive glare going down on Skrulk, taking off about a quarter of his health in one shot. And he really needs to use the Doom Wheel and this Hell Pit Abomination to protect Lord Skrulk, which I think it looks like he may be doing. Look, you see, he's putting these guys between where the vindictive glare came from and where Skrulk is. And I would love to see Skrulk maybe not just even pull back, but just hide behind the mass of one of these units. In any case, Warp Lightning Cannon's going to waste a volley right there. Skaven Slave Spears look like they're coming out to try and chase down these guys, but they're just going to get shot to death, I would imagine. And, yeah, we'll see what happens here. I do worry about Skrulk's well-being, because he's still at a very dangerous angle, and that Night Goblin Shaman will have no qualms of shooting him in the face from there. Over here, it looks like the Warp Lightning Cannon has shifted targets. Going to hit these Orc Boar Chariots. I like that shift in targets. We now have the Doom Wheel diving out into the Savage Orc Biggins. Wa is going to be popped. And just like that, the greenskins around the field are going to be diving in. Really good timing from Migsaa there. As you can see, almost all of his units going to be able to get a charge during that wall, including some of these missile units in the back line, routing off some Skaven Slave Spears. Meanwhile, the frontline engagements overall are looking pretty neutral, like still a lot of healthy units around the field on both sides in their frontline engagement. So Wa doing a lot to balance out the infantry fight. These Savage Orc Biggins and Savage Orcs probably wouldn't do too well against Plague Monk Sensor Bears on a regular day. But now we have Trolls coming in, and I think we're going to see some really bad things happening. And oh, the Skaven leadership, another Vindictive Glare to the face. And now that the Trolls are on top of the Doom Mill, and now the Night Goblin Warboss is in there popping that Tormentor Sword, I'm really doubtful this Doom will be able to get out of this situation. He does have Plague Monk Sensor Bears supporting him, though. So definitely not a completely one-sided fight. Over here, seeing some Plague Monks rout off the Savage Orcs in the front line. And over here, this fight, in spite of the Doom Wheel being in a very precarious position, is starting to even out. As you can see, Terror becoming a very dangerous possibility. And with one Terror route, there goes two, and now there goes the third. So look at that, Terror flipping the tide of that battle very suddenly. Over here, we're going to see this Orc-Boar Chariot getting stabbed by Skrulk and some Skaven Slave Spears. But now, the moment of truth, will Skrulk survive that one? He will survive it, but man, oh man, he has taken so much damage. 3 Vindictive Glares, and he's almost dead. One more, and I have high doubt he will survive it, if he even survives this. But look, there he goes. Hell Pit Abomination still very, very healthy. The Josh, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Hell Pit Abomination coming through here, and the Skaven are using Terror to really save themselves in this matchup. And right now, although the Greenskins were starting out very strong, especially in this leadership fight, and don't watch out, here comes the last one, probably the final Vindictive Glare. And yeah, Skrulk is dead. So Skrulk is dead just like that, but the balance of power is still in favor of the Skaven. Now, will Terror be able to win the day, or now that Skrulk is dead, will the leadership fail? And we have to remember too, now those Vindictive Glares are going to be flying into the Doom Wheel. And I don't even know if it can survive one Vindictive Glare at this point, so going to be a very close fight as we come into the mid stage of this battle, you know, right up closing in on the 5-minute mark. And I'd say both players are looking very good. They've played this very well. Both players still have plenty of tools in their kit. Greenskin's advantage will be the missiles, the mobility, but Skaven have a Hell Pit Abomination, and I don't know if the Greenskins have enough ammunition to shoot it to death. And you know, I guess we'll see. But most of the Skaven elite infantry has been dealt with. Or it looks like there's a couple of Stormvermin stragglers here, but Stormvermin just don't like fighting against Trolls. So what's going to win the day, guys? Mobility and range, or Terror? And I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. But both players doing a really good work. Let's just go ahead and take up a higher level view here. As you can see, this is the stage in the battle where regrouping is about to begin, but before regrouping begins, each player is just trying to remove as many cards from the other player's deck. So you'll see Greenskins over here chasing down, killing these Stormvermin with shield, making sure they don't come back to the fight. Over here, Stormvermin actually in a fairly even fight against some Goblins and Savage Orc Biggins that just started rout, but that rear charge from the Chariot should rout them off for good. So right now, it does look like the Greenskins are starting to get the edge here. And with the Hell Pit Abomination, it's a very powerful unit, but by itself, its leadership isn't the strongest, 74, so actually I guess pretty decent leadership, but it's still very much going to rout if it gets surrounded by all of the Gobbo leadership and army at once. Speaking of leadership, where did the Gobbo Big Boss go? Did I totally miss a Lord kill? Nope, just kidding. There's the Gobbo Big Boss. Oh man, Hell Pit Abomination. Is there any units attacking right now? Okay, yeah, we have Skaven Slave Spears and these guys fighting. And I just want to make sure he isn't thinking he can chase these guys endlessly. Oh, that's a bummer. The Hell Pit Abomination really wanted to rout that guy off the map, but now that these guys are surrounded, I think the Hell Pit Abomination is the only Skaven unit left on the field, and in spite of an excellent effort and a really impressive fight, I think the Greenskins just took this. Hell Pit Abomination won't be able to finish this on its own. And at this point, he is attacking. So it's just unfortunately for this Hell Pit Abomination, everything he's going to be attacking, I think, will be quicker than him, with the exception of infantry. Which, speak of the devil, here comes the 8-peak loonies. How many of you are there? 2? Yeah. So we got 2 of these guys going up against the Hell Pit Abomination. Just, we're gonna get ya. We're gonna get ya. Uh-oh, watch out, Hell Pit Abomination. Don't worry, they're coming right back to it. Oh. The epic clash of the Hell Pit Abomination versus the 8-peak loonies. Oh, he's back up. He doesn't care. No fucks given. I'm coming for ya. Uh-oh. Man, these 2 MVPs. Are you guys still alive? Oh my god, both of them are still alive. These guys are the coolest. Still going after him. And at this point, I can't fault Riggsen for sticking it out, because the greenskins are so susceptible to terror. It's very possible that if they all come after this guy right now, they'll just terror out. But looks like over here some Stormvermin did regroup, and the greenskins are coming over here to take him out. Goblin Big Boss diving in there with Plague Monk Sensor Bear. With the Savage Orcs. Here come the trolls, and I think that first game is going to be a GG. Both players calling it too. Yeah. Riggsen going to concede defeat. There goes the Hell Pit Abomination, and a GG. Trolls, yeah, it's going to be a battle of regen. Regiment Renowned Hell Pit with a jetpack. Oh, I love Gobos. But very good game to both players there. Migsaa playing that well. I think he, in spite of in the mid stage of the battle there, he did get a lot of people routing off. And that's, just because the Skaven front line was so strong and the terror was really well utilized by Riggsen. Like, he played that very well. Migsaa just came out on top in the end, and honestly, I think, what mainly won that, not to take away from Migsa's gameplay at all, because I think there's definitely ways to counterplay Vindictive Glare that Riggsen wasn't utilizing, like hiding behind units with larger mass, or even keeping them just hidden in a little bit of a forest. But obviously, Riggsen's a better player than me, so I don't want to critique that too much. But essentially, the Night Goblin Shaman killing off Skrulk, I think, is what sealed the fate. If Skrulk would have been able to pop off Liber Babonicus a couple times for the 2 times, then I think this would have been a totally different battle, not to mention the summons that he didn't get because he was killed. So, good game to both players. Alright, guys, here we go into the battle now. Vampire Coast versus Vampire Coast. Starting with blue, once again, we've got Migsaa. Now, Migsaa has 2 Rotting Leviathans here. Other than that, he's going to have what appears to be 3 Zombie Pirate Deckhound Mob with pole arms, 1 unit of Sirens, as well as, where the hell did you go? 1 unit of Depth Guard here. Very powerful infantry unit. Other than this, his army will consist mostly of monsters. So we're going to have, here in the forest, hiding stupidly, the Rotting Promethean, as well as the Lamprey's Revenge, Regiment of Renowned Rotting Promethean Gunnery. Yeah, Rotting Promethean Gunnery Mob. Alright, then we're going to have 2 Rotting Leviathans, these large single-entity boat crab monsters, looking beautiful, have a ton of armor, ready to rock and roll. And last but definitely not least, although I'm not a fan of them when I play Vampire Coast, we got Noctilus on foot. It's going to be Captain Ross Moondial, Wraithstorm, Arcane Conduit, Invocation the Heck, and Drowned Dead. I forgot to add that roll. Alright, now for the other army, it's going to be polar opposite, and we'll see if Riggsen comes out on top here or not with this very different build. Now, his build is going to consist of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Zombie Pirate Deckhound Mob. He is then going to have 4 units of Deckhound Mobs with polearms. Aside from that, he's going to have 1, 2, units of zombie pirate gunnery mob with handguns for that armor piercing. He will have a unit of sirens as well. And then he is going to have plenty of artillery. So 1, 2, 3 carronades. He's also going to have Count Noctilus up on top of his Necrofex Colossus. He'll have to watch out for those rotting Leviathans. They will make quick work of him if they get on top. He's going to have Wraithstorm, Ruth's Moondial, Arkhan Conduit, Invocation of Heck, and the Drowned Dead. So same loadout, but he's on his Necrofex. And last but certainly not least, we have up in the air the deck droppers with handguns. So he's going to have to kill these rotting Leviathans quick. And let's get to it, guys. 2 Noctilus, yeah. So, yeah, play against Dr. Payne now. I'm really, really sorry, Xiphos. I want to catch both semifinals, the third match, and the finals. And I think it will go like 7 hours plus if we cast every single battle. So I'll cast 1 from each bracket for this first round, and then we'll cast everything from there. Okay, guys, so here we go. Looking at the deployment, small army, large army. Small army further back, pulling his opponent to him, which makes sense. He has all the artillery and firepower. And the small army going to be trying to close that gap as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, look at this. The Rotting Leviathan is going to get targeted by all of the artillery, but Migsaa doing his very best to dodge it as well as he can. However, the big problem, I think, for Migsaa right now is he has absolutely no range besides what's on top of the Rotting Leviathans and the Rotting Promethean gunnery mob. So here comes these guys. They're going to be coming in point blank, start shooting in there. And the thing is like, not only does he have to put up with fire from 3 cannons, these guys, Noctilus, as well as 2 armor-piercing handguns. He has to get through a lot of chaff. But right now, I think... Oh, yeah, I don't know. This is going to be tough. The troop count, force 57 versus 1558. But finally, there goes the damage that I was kind of expecting to see. The Rotting Leviathan taking a ton of work, but looks like he's pulling him in. Invocation of Heck going down on top of him. And here comes what appears to be Captain Roth's Moondial on top of the carronade. It did destroy an artillery piece. Yeah, so took out one of those artillery pieces. But now, look at this. Everything in Migsa's army is starting to come into range of the firepower from Riggsen. And these deck droppers have no competition. And Riggsen has plenty of chaff to keep sending up here. But it does look like a lot of Migsa's army is getting through the gaps and coming in here to shut him down. But, oh boy, look at the firepower, the range damage coming in on top of Migsa's army. It's looking rough. Red doing some really good work here against blue. While they are on top of these guys, he's in a big mob of zombie pirate deckhand mobs with pole arms, which is also something Rotting Leviathans don't want to be fighting against. And as long as these handgunners remain uninterrupted and Noctilus continues firing, I think we may see a GG. However, one point of critique for Riggsen is he put all these cannons so close together that as soon as they got shut down, all of them were shot down at once. Spread them around in the back lines for future reference. I think that will work much better. But look at this. These Rotting Leviathans are just getting pulverized by all this incoming firepower. Deck droppers, carronades, Necrofex Colossus, a huge Invocation of the Heck going down, Overcast. Looks like more zombies being summoned to come fight these guys. And yeah, just looks like Red is really in a dominant position. He hasn't even engaged most of his troops. And I think it was really, really risky for Migsaa to bring such a small Vampire Coast army when you know that Vampire Coast is really, really good. Like one of the best factions in the game at sniping heroes and lords. And also single entity monsters because of their powerful artillery and ranged. So right now it's going to be tough. Noctilus still doing a lot of damage. He's summoning a ton of units. But I think just the fact that Red, aka Riggsen, started out with so many more models and units than Migsaa did is really going to give him this number advantage for the entire battle. Because as you can see, he outnumbers him about 3-1. Rotting Leviathans are starting to crumble. This one is coming in, and actually both of them are coming in to fight Noctilus now, so he's got to be careful. Invocation of Heck going down on one of them. And this is really a Hail Mary from Migsaa, is to try and get on top of Noctilus, try to compromise him, but Noctilus summoning units, getting a lot of units in here to help meat shield for him. And yeah, I just think Riggsen has played this very, very well, but just like that, look at it. Noctilus starting to get knocked around, starting to take some damage. A lot of Riggsen's range has been shut down, including the artillery, although it looks like the artillery is trying to get back on top of their carronades in order to get into this fight. But now Noctilus is coming in here too, and would you look at this, guys? If Noctilus gets in here, 2 Rotting Leviathans, he could easily turn this entire battle around if he can snipe off the other Count Noctilus. So, oh god, guys, did Riggsen get overconfident, and are we about to see an Oberyn Martell situation from Game of Thrones where they're just going to get caught in close combat, and now this Noctilus is going to get killed? Oh my goodness gracious, this guy is at 580 hit points. The deck droppers, are they not over here firing at them? Because it looks like they are. Okay, cool. Going to see another summon coming down here, and Noctilus is just going to be able to pull out. The Noctilus on foot, desperately trying to pull through, but he's just getting caught up in the zombie chaff. Oh my goodness. Would you look at that, guys? Another invocation of the Heck going down, and just like that, these Rotting Prometheans are still okay. Alright, this one's actually crumbling. Okay, yes. 1 Rotting Promethean going to go down. And once that Promethean goes down, I think the writing's on the wall from there. Look at all of Riggsen's infantry starting to overwhelm Migsaa's. One of the Rotting Prometheans is down, the other one is very weak. Invocation of the Heck going down on top of Necrofex Noctilus. And he's just looking like he's in a really strong position at this stage in the fight. Looks like the deck droppers are shooting Noctilus now. I'd probably still just keep on focusing on this Rotting Leviathan, because the last thing you want is for it to regain health points. It's at 200 HP right now. It can probably go back close to 4,000 or so once it hits full, maybe even 5,000. This thing has a ton of HP, so he needs to really make sure another Invocation of the Heck does not go down on it. But by applying that pressure to Noctilus, I suppose he's doing just that. Noctilus looking like army losses are going to kick in, and that's going to be a GG. And I have to say, as bad as mirror matches can be, that one was pretty good because 2 players going with very polar opposite builds, and I think we got to see a showcase in the ranged capabilities of the Vampire Coast. So very well played to Riggsen. That's going to be a 1-1 for our first best of 3, guys. And I totally forgot to update the brackets, and I apologize. Greenskins versus Skaven. It was not. In reality, it was Vampire Counts versus Coast versus Coast. Where are we at? I'm going to do it now still, just as a matter of principle. And because I have 2 Vampire Coast banners. So, looking here at the kills after the battle, guys. A lot of kills on the Rotting Leviathans, the Lamprey's Revenge, and the Depth Guard in particular, but really just played into the hands of this army. Like, really kind of lost in the build, in my opinion. I think at the end there, that Hail Mary could have worked, but I think Riggsen played that very, very well, and he recognized the map. He understood that that's a map with a lot of good terrain features for our artillery shines, and by bringing this overwhelming firepower, it really, really paid off for him. So, power to him. Liked that build, liked that battle. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's go into... Alright, guys, here we go. Is this the last battle of tourney? No, Troggy. This is the first series of this tourney, the last battle of this best of 3. Welcome, by the way, Troggy. Let's go ahead and start with blue. Once again, we got Migsaa. So, Migsaa bringing the Tomb Kings to the field. Let's start off with the infantry. He's going to have 2 Nehekara warriors. He's going to also have what appears to be 3 skeleton spearmen, as well as 1, 2 units of Tomb Guard. So, 2 Tomb Guard, 2 Nehekara warriors, 3 spearmen. He is then going to have 2 units of carrying up in the air, 2 units of skeleton chariots down here. He's going to have 2 Nehekara horsemen. These Nehekara horsemen are an excellent unit. Curious to see how they do against the Dark Elves. I think they're the best medium cavalry in the game by far. For our leadership, we will have Cetra the Imperishable. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, also, before I forget, we are going to have 2 units of Great Bow Ushaptis. On Cetra, the Imperishable. He's going to be atop of his Chimerian War Sphinx, the kitty, the War Kitty as people like to lovingly call it. The Blessing Blade of Tra, Wrath of Tra, Sekhmet's Incantation of the Skull Storm, and Unyielding Will be his kit loadout. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our red player's army, Riggsen. Riggsen, a very dangerous Dark Elf player, so let's see how this goes. Now, he's going to have 2 units of Dread Spears. Behind them, he's going to have 2 units of Blackguard Corsairs and 3 units of Blackguard and Agrand. In the back, he's going to have 2 additional units of Dread Spears rounding out the infantry force, bringing it to a total of 4. He's going to have 3 units of Reaper Bolt Throwers, once again going with all of the artillery being in one place. I personally like to spread it out more, but the advantage of this loadout is I suppose it's easier to protect from cavalry charges and stuff like that, but I just hesitate to get everything bundled up at one place. However, he does have 3 Blackguard and Agrand, which will be more than enough to chew through anything Migsaa tries to dive in on artillery with. Up in the air, we are going to see a Supreme Sorceress of Fire on top of a Manticore. Not something you see too often. I don't usually see the Manticore, usually the Dark Pegasus here. Got Arcane Conduit, Opal Amulet, Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, Fireball, as well as the Kindle Flame. And that will do it. Good luck, have fun. We are ready. Troop count's going to be relatively even, 883 to 895. It's almost dead even, only a 12 model difference between the 2 players' armies. And let's take a look at deployment. Looking over here at red, he's got the artillery, he's got the pull army, and it looks like he's going to be going with a very consolidated formation to protect himself and his artillery, while the Tomb Kings have a much wider formation. Got those Boshopti working on the edges and are probably going to try to operate just out of range of the bolt throwers, but the bolt throwers do have longer range, so I don't even know why I said that as a valid strategy. And here he is. There go all the Reaper bolt throwers now. Going to start firing into these Boshopti, but so far none of those... Okay, a couple of them are going to land there towards the end. But artillery does tend to have a compounding effect, so initial volley is usually not too effective, and then they'll slowly start pulling off their damage. But in any case, it looks like they're not doing too much damage, so curious to see if he's going to continue that targeting or what he's going to do. I mean, I guess at the very least he is preventing them from firing in on him and getting that very valuable damage done against the Blackguard and Agrand. Alright, we got some Blackguard Corsairs here with handbows, who I did miss, so my apologies, an entirely third unit that I missed. And now we have the Carrion coming over here looking like they're trying to threaten the Supreme Sorceress of Fire. Okay, this Boshopti Great Bow, like I said, over time the damage is starting to stack up, and we'll probably see it start to go down a lot quicker as the battle progresses. Over here, Blackguard Corsairs with handbows, there's 2 of them that I missed, my apologies, chat. And they're actually going to be so important to help the Supreme Sorceress fight off these Carrion, because Carrion, funnily enough, can be quite a pain in the neck for sorceresses in the air. Over here, it looks like the Boshopti, the Great Bows, down to 6 models. Really good work from the Dark Elf artillery taking them out. Over here, we got some chariots diving through. The Supreme Sorceress is going to dive in there, trying to deal with these chariots, hold them in place with her mass. Blackguard Corsairs getting on top of Nehekara warriors. And we got the Blackguard and Agrand taking a lot of damage from the incoming Boshopti fire. Migsaa diving into the back of this artillery. Look at that, already at half health almost immediately. Nehekara horsemen are going to be able to go through this artillery so quickly, but one of the Boshopti is basically dead to rights. It is crumbling right now, and it only has 3 models left, so even if it stays online, it's not going to be doing that much damage. Over here, we do see that Riggsen's Supreme Sorceress of Fire is running away from the Carrion, trying to come back here towards the main engagements. But look at that, 2 of the Reaper Bolt Throwers offline right now. Skeleton Chariot's about to take the 3rd one offline, it looks like, as well as a very large flank coming in from the Tomb Kings with Nehekara warriors, Nehekara horsemen, and some skeleton spearmen. And with that, the balance of power is starting to shift against our Dark Elf player, and Migsaa playing this very well, but just like that, Murderous Prowess is going to pop and should be able to help Riggsen start bringing this back in his corner a bit. You'll see that Cascading Fire Cloak popping down on top of the Supreme Sorceress of Fire, bringing her melee defense all the way up to 34. I guess I just missed it. Yeah, I missed the effect of that spell. Well, actually, no. I think that actually is for melee defense because it's probably in the 20s when it's not buffed. And yes, I do believe that fireball did miss a Finks. But looking at the battlefield right now, Dark Elves have a lot of infantry still going their way. Burning Head doing a nice bit of damage to the Tomb Guard. And the Dark Elves, the fact that they have the Black Art of Nagarond, as well as some Dread Spears left, means they still have a fighting chance, I would say. But I'm very curious to see what happens from here. I mean, I almost want the Supreme Sources of Fire to come over here and take out the Ushapti, but it looks like the Black Art Corsairs with Handbows are trying to do that themselves. Over here, the Supreme Sources of Fire is going to dive into the Tomb Guard. I think actually a pretty wise decision. Trying to help out the Black Art of Nagarond as much as possible in this combat, because the Black Art of Nagarond are going to be what she has to ride to victory if she has any chance at all of taking down these Tomb King forces. Supreme Sorceress of Fire coming over here, going to pop Cascading Fire Cloak once again on top of herself. And no, melee defense up at 61 with that Cascading Fire Cloak. So, very useful spell, especially for a Lord without the best defense. And now here she goes diving in. But the Ushapti summon is now on the table, guys. And will it be used to surround the Supreme Sorceress of Fire? I have a little sneaking suspicion it will. Nehekara Horsemen are coming inbound, carrying her inbound. And oh no, the Lord got greedy. And I'm really worried that she won't be able to pull out of this. Nehekara Horseman coming in. And there she goes, trying desperately, but getting staggered at so many points. And now with the Nehekara Horseman on top of her, I don't think she's taking off. We got the carry in there too to help keep her on the ground. And this is looking risky. Oh no. Will she be able to get up? Yeah, I think that's going to be a GG. Haven't even seen the Ushapti summon yet, and I think the Ushapti summon is being saved very patiently by Migsaa here. Top level play from both players, but I think the writing's on the wall. So as soon as that Ushapti summon comes in, then she doesn't stand a single chance in hell, and we got Carrion pinning her in place, all sorts of things, but she's not going to go down without a fight. A big Burning Head going down, doing a lot of damage to the units around here, but now Setcher the Imperishable is in here, and looks just like that. The Tomb Kings will take this victory from the Dark Elves. Riggsen putting up an excellent fight as one of the wild cards in this tournament. He played very, very well. That second battle was executed to almost perfection, and Migsaa just showing why he's here in the tournament and why he's one of the best players in the game. Coming over this way, it looks like the Dark Elves are still duking that out in the infantry fight, and they are winning without much issue. And it almost looks like Riggsen's just going to, you know, go all in and see if his infantry can win this fight. Unfortunately for Riggsen, though, his leadership's about to get routed off the map. Silver Lining, it didn't get killed, so he's not going to have that leadership penalty from getting his Lord killed, but when she's off the map, look at that. Army losses kick in immediately, and that's going to be a GG. Migsaa taking that series 2-1 against Riggsen. That was a very good game to both players. Great way to start out the tournament. Some very high-level play from those two guys. Looking here, you know, we'll see the Skeleton Chariots, 94 kills. Ushapti doing very well. This one getting shut down by the artillery. But honestly, probably not the best trade for the artillery in hindsight. Because when you think about the cost difference there, just doesn't add up. 3 artillery pieces taking down 1 Ushapti, but then getting shut down after that just really isn't cost effective. And I almost would have liked to have seen these Reaper Bolt Throwers ignore the Ushapti, which is tall order, I know, but maybe try to hide your important infantry and let the Ushapti shoot your spearmen or at your artillery, and then just shot all of these, etc. But once again, easier said than done. A lot of targets that he had to focus on. So great games to both of them, and let's go get into the next one, which is going to be Crusader 13 versus Arkhan the Black. Alright, let's go and get my ugly mug off the screen and this overlay and get to the battle at hand. Let's spice things up and start with our red player first today, or this round. And this is going to be an interesting army. We got Crusader bringing 2 Blackguards of Nagaron, 2 Sisters of Slaughter. He is then going to have 2 units of Bleak Swords as well as 2 units of Dread Spears. And did I already say the 2 Blackguard of Nagaron? I think I did. So, a lot of infantry here. Aside from that, he's going to have 1 unit of artillery being a Reaper Bolt Thrower. He is then going to have what appears to be 2 units of Harpies, and both of them going to be deployed in the back, just looking out for any Vanguard shenanigans from his opponent. I like it. Aside from this, we're going to have 2 Manticores up in the air, a Feral Manticores for the win. I am in love with you, Crusader. Oh my god, this army is so interesting. He is going to have over here a Sorceress of Beast. The Sorceress of Beast will have nothing but Transformation of Kadan, as well as the Dark Star Cloak. So she'll be doing some mean stuff. And then we got Marathi on foot here, a very popular Lord choice. And she's going to have Soul Stealer, along with Power of Darkness, Heartrender of the Dark Sword, with Greater Arcane Conduit, Spiteful Conjuration, as well as a Life Leeching. Now, for his opponent's army, we have Arkhan the Black, who's going to be bringing the Vampire Coast. The Vampire Coast will have Queen Bess, as well as 5 units of Deckhand Mob, with 2 units of Mournguls. Aside from these Mournguls, we're going to have a Depth Guard. We are then going to have 5 units of, or no, what is that? Yeah, 5 units of, what is this? 3 units of Deck Droppers and 2 units of Fell Bats. And then we're also going to have Luther Harkin up in the air with Hornswaggle and his lovely breath, but nothing else. And oh my god, Crusader, what are you doing, bud? No, Crusader! Ah! Oh, wow, look at that. Completely dodged it. I like it. And over here, Deck Droppers are going to start getting shot by the Reaper Bolt Thrower. We got the 2 Manticores up in the air that are both going to be feral. And we're going to see a 3rd Manticore getting summoned here. And I am very curious to see what happens. Luther Harkin going to be like, alright, that's 1 too many Manticores for me. I'm going to get out of here. Arkhan the Black, Crusader doing an incredible job dodging the fire from the Queen Bess. And he's just going to give up on the Reaper Bolt Thrower, and I can't blame him. I think he's calculating what he has on the field versus what the Vampire Coast has on the field, and he's deciding this Reaper Bolt Thrower isn't worth protecting when the Queen Bess is up ahead, just shooting artillery at my very, very elite infantry. Over here, that's going to just miss too, so the Queen Bess getting some initial success, but then losing a lot of models after that. Right now, Harpy's trying to pull away, but turning around just in the nick of time to charge these Fellbats, and Harpy should outclass Fellbats very significantly, but does have support here from the Deck Droppers. And Crusader, I think, doing this very smart. He's going to go ahead and summon up both of his Manticores already. I was expecting this last one to wait a little bit, but suppose not. This Feral Manticore chasing after the Deck Droppers. Luther Harkin chasing after that Manticore. And that Manticore, as soon as it gets rampaged, is probably going to die. But yeah, I'd like to see this Air Force pushing up a lot quicker. Both of these summoned units in the air, I hope weren't done prematurely. Sisters of Slaughter are going to dive in here to the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mob. And I have to give so much respect here to Arkhan the Black for bringing the Queen Bess. And look at that. Queen Bess just murking so many Sisters of Slaughter. But the Manticores are coming in now. This one over here is in single combat with Luther Harkin. And I have to say, I'm worried about the chances here for the Dark Elves if they can't take care of Queen Bess. Because look at that, one round, taking those guys down by 1/3 of their health. Mournguls are diving into the infantry now. We're going to see the summons coming in. Got the Vampire Count, Fleet Captain down here with Invocation of Heck, and as well as Hornswaggle too. Oh man, oh no, oh my god. The Queen Bess, people, the Queen Bess. Nobody would have expected that. But Queen Bess is doing so much work right now. Like, single-handedly killing off these Blackguard and Nagaron is Queen Bess. And a Soul Stealer coming down here too, a huge Soul Stealer. Will it be enough to change the tide of battle? Queen Bess going to just miss that. I'm sure the Dark Elves are breathing a huge sigh of relief. And a big breath coming down from Luther Harkin. I think the one thing they have going for him is Morathi on slip, but Morathi is losing a lot of health right now. And Luther Harkin is now going to dive in for combat. And look at that huge hit. Luther Harkin doing so much work. Morathi is going to Terror Route. And Arkhan the Black just doing some very, wow, very well played. You know, you can't take it from him. He played that very, very well. Luther Harkin just dominated Morathi. And Arkhan the Black going to go up 1-0. And he had the Queen Bess in that army chat. So no matter who you're rooting for, who you're cheering for, that deserves some respect. Queen Bess on the field. But I'm curious to see, you know, how Crusader comes back from this one. You know, that's definitely not a fun battle to start your series out on, your best of 3. As you can see, the Blackguard and Agarand, 1 kill, 0 kills. That's such a tough thing to look at. And Queen Bess, 83 kills. Like, Queen Bess just MVP that round single-handedly. Like, she... Oh, excuse me. Oh. Without the Queen Bess, they wouldn't have won. Simple as that. Queen Bess was really such an important unit. Got the most kills on the field, and it wasn't against chumps. He wasn't up against the White Lion God of Gabos. You can play. He wasn't corner camping, guys. There was plenty of room between him and the White Lion. He was just holding high ground in a corner. And he, like, that was just good positioning. He kept the Queen Bess in a position where the artillery for the Dark Elves couldn't reach it. No, I mean, I think he played that well. Honestly, I think in hindsight, I would have saved the Manticore summons and would have played the Reaper Bolt Thrower a bit more patiently and brought it up in range to start sniping down the Queen Bess, because only a few rounds I think would have worked. Guys, let's take my face off the screen and get ready for the battle at hand. Oh, damn it. I am so sorry. I think Romulan Dog should be ready soon, right? No, he's still not in my Discord. Never mind. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's start off with blue. My apologies. So, right now, we got Arkhan the Black and his vampire counts. Now, the vampire count started with the infantry will have what appears to be 3 skeleton warriors and 2 skeleton spearmen, along with 4 crypt ghouls. I love the choice of these crypt ghouls. He's going to have 2 blood knights. He's going to have 2 fell bats up in the air, 2 crypt horrors down on the ground, and a corpse cart with an unholy lodestone to get that lovely area of effect healing down. Now, for the leadership of this vampire count army, we will see a necromancer. This necromancer will have the Rod of Corrupt, or Forbidden Rod, as well as Raise Dead and Master of Dead for that extra healing. We are then going to have a Strigoi Vampire Lord on foot. I love him, keeping with the theme of these ghouls that is leading into battle. Now, the Strigoi Vampire Lord will have Claws of Morkane for that extra 40% armor-piercing damage. The Power Stone, Command of the Unliving to summon those crit ghouls, and Invocation of Nehek, Spirit Leech, and the Curse of Undeath. Now, on to the Vampire Coast. We are going to see both players readying up very quickly. 3 Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs with polearms, 2 Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. He is then going to have 2 Fellbats up in the air. He's going to have a Gallows Giant, which I love. He's going to have a Vampire Fleet Captain with vampires. He's going to have a Damned Paladin and make that 2 Damned Paladins along with a Rotting Leviathan. And that's going to be the army with 1 unit of Zombie Pirate Deckhand mob over here in the forest. Looks like perhaps they got misplaced or he's putting them out there just to keep them in a cheeky position. So here comes the fight. And these zombies are going to get absolutely melted by the crypt ghouls. And I have to say, I'm really worried about Crusader's army right now. However, Gallows Giant is going to have a field day. I am sure of it. Look at that. Half health, 1 shot. Gallows Giant if there's one faction you may want to try him out against, it's the Vampire Counts, eh? And look at that! 2 volleys from that thing, and these guys are next to dead. And if he shoots into that blob, no, fire here, fire here, fire here, fire here, fire here. Oh, man, I really want him to fire here, fire here, fire here, fire here, dude. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it! No. He's gonna instead be... Oh, man. I really wanted to see that. Alright, here come the Crypt Horrors coming in. Looks like the Blood Knights are coming in too. We got deck droppers over here. And, oh, that Necrofex shot is going to completely miss. And right now, the 2 Damn Paladins, as well as the Vampire Fleet Captain, and the Necrofex are all going to get an Overcast Invocation to Heck. We're going to see all of the deck droppers and Fellbats, which I missed a couple of Fellbats too, are all going to come in here and be shooting down the Corpse Guard, the Unholy Lodestone, and they're doing really well. But look at this, Blood Knights coming in, and oh no, once the Blood Knights get on top of the Necrofex Colossus, it is going to be dead so quickly. It actually even looks like the Blood Knights were going for a rear charge there, but here it comes. They're turning around. Vampire Counts are turning this entire force around. But look at that. We're going to see the Corpse Cart dying off. And then we're going to see the Damn Paladins and Vampire Fleet Captain over here dealing with the Crypt Horrors. The Necrofex, the Gallows Giant, able to pull out of there, and I really want to see him just punish a blob with a flamethrower shot. All of the deck droppers in the air, all 2 of them, or I guess 3 deck droppers and 2 Fellbats, are shooting down into the Corpse Guard, the Unholy Lodestone. It should be dead very quickly. And now we're just waiting to see the Necrofex Colossus shoot into a blob here, but he's going to be walking around flamethrowing the ground for now, and it's just going to be a big old blob fight, guys. And right now, it does look like Vampire Coast is starting to get a slight edge. Now, they need to kill this Necromancer. The Necromancer is the healer in this army, and if you can get that Necromancer taken care of, it'd be a huge win. Right now, the Vampire Fleet Captain with pole arms is doing pretty well, taking care of the Crypt Horrors with his Damn Paladins, and now that they're off the map, it looks like he's going to be going into combat with this Strigoi Vampire Lord. And the Necrofex Colossus is still doing quite well. The Rotting Promethean doesn't even... Leviathan looking like it isn't even been touched. Blood Knights, great bonus versus large, but very little armor piercing. So, right now, we'll see what happens. As long as the Necrofex Colossus is alive, I think he can take care of the infantry. And as long as the Rotting Leviathan is alive, I think he'll have something to keep the Blood Knights busy. Alright, there they go. And these 3 deck droppers are doing really, really well. Actually, is it 4? Man, I keep on miscounting. It's 4 deck droppers. And as so many undead battles go, it's turning into a blob fest. Got Strigoi Vampire Lord duking it out here with the Damn Paladins and the Vampire Fleet Captain. And I have to say, the Damn Paladins, I like this pick. It's interesting. Okay, Vampire Fleet Captain, Vampires is getting hit by all the Blood Knights now. Strigoi Vampire Lord coming in. She's reached her healing cap. Some of the Blood Knights are dead. The other ones are looking really low on health, and the supporting fire coming in is really making the difference here. Strigoi Vampire Lord getting caught out here between the 2 Damn Paladins, but the Blood Knights are making a huge difference helping support him. But, yeah, I mean, at this point, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of these blob fights either, but it's coming close. But I do think the Vampire Coast is going to come out on top at the end, and we should be seeing a best of 3. And the good news is, chat, neither player can bring Vampire Coast, and one of them can't even bring the Vampire Counts anymore. Oh, Strigoi Vampire Lord getting shot point blank by the Necrofex Colossus, doing all of the work. And, oh my goodness gracious, I love you, Gallows Giant. Like, Crusader wins just because it brings the Gallows Giant. It's the best thing ever. The Gallows Giant MVP. And, just watching it burninate all of these skeletons. It's like he's just going around, just, alright, let's get rid of the pest. And there goes Strigoi Vampire Lord. And that, just like that, guys, we're going to be going to a best of 3. There's no way Vampire counts get out of this one. And we'll see a concede there from Arkhan the Black. So now look at that, guys. Ace match once again. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of those today. Here is me thinking it's too early for some barbecue. Ooh, Gallows Giant. So fun to watch, guys. That was a really good game. That was fun. Gallows Giant, 166 kills, 42 kills on the Raw Leviathan. Damn Paladins, bonus versus large, they were there for the win. These guys are awesome. Vampire Fleet Captain did a good job. Like, this army all together just worked really, really well. For Crusader, the Damned Knights, excellent pick. And then looking over here, I think Arkhan played that pretty well, getting the surround there, but it was really the Gallows Giant, not to keep on just, you know, harping on the Gallows Giant, but that is what prevented this build from working. Without the Gallows Giant, this army would have done really well, I think. But the fact that he was able to literally destroy a unit of cripples before it even got there was a huge deal. And I think there were some missed opportunities too with the Gallows Giant. I mean, that's just my opinion, but obviously Crusader is so much better than me. But, you know, 166 kills, MVP of the match right there, in my opinion. But in any case, let's get to the battle at hand, chat. So here we go. Enough speculation. Let's see who comes out on top between the one and only Crusader and the one and only Arkhan the Black. Now, with our red player Crusader, we're going to see 5 Peasant Mob up front. He's going to have 5 units of Peasant Bowmen as well. I think that's a very strong pick with the Peasant Bowmen. On top of that, he's going to have 4 units of Mounted Yeoman Archers. And then he's going to have a strong cav force consisting of the Companions of Corel and 2 units of Grail Knights. Along with those Grail Knights, he will have a Damsel of Heavens. He's not going to be bringing the healing. Damsel of Heavens will be on a horse, bringing the Power Stone, Scroll of Shielding, Wind Blast, as well as Harmonic Convergence and Roiling Skies for that debuffed air units. Now, for his final leader, we will have King Luin Leon Kerr up in the air. Beaky will, and on top of him, he will have the Sword of Corone, Stand Your Ground, Foe Seeker, Beloved Son of Bretonia, the Ladies Champion, and the Blessing of the Lady. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the blue player, Arkhan the Black, and his Dark Elf forces. With his Dark Elves, we are going to see 1 Reaper Bolt Thrower. He is then going to have what appears to be 4 units of Bleak Swords and 2 units of Dread Spears, along with 1 Hargoneth Executioner. He will have a Dark Rider Repeater Crossbow, as well as 4 Cold One Knights. Now, for his leadership up in the air, we will see Malekith. Malekith will have Gaze of Malice, Soul Stealer, Chill Wind, as well as Stand Your Ground with his Breath and Spiteful Conjuration. And that will round out the 2 armies. And just like that, we're going to get into it, and we're going to see who comes out on top. Silver Shields should be able to negate a ton of damage from these archers coming from Bretonia, but there are 5 archers, so we'll see. I think the range is going to go in favor of Bretonia here, since they clearly outclass the Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows with 4 Mounted Yeomen, but the artillery here is going to, help pull the Bretonians to the Dark Elves. And then with the, nice little damage he does over time with those Chill Winds, should get some good use out of him. I like this placement of the Reaper Bolt Throwers too. I think they're placed in a good place to prevent artillery like a Trebuchet from getting on top of them. But right now, I would like to see Crusader play this a bit more cautiously. Don't let the Reaper Bolt Thrower just get a bunch of free damage on top of your missile cav, although I guess he's looking at that probably pretty intelligently and patiently, deciding like, well, if he's shooting my Mounted Yeoman, that's 500 points. I don't really care. Just don't shoot my Grail Knights and my Companions of Corel. And now in come the Peasant Bowman. The Peasant Bowman coming into range is going to force Arkhan the Black's hands. And just like that, you're going to see Arkhan going like, yeah, I'm going to need to get in here for the fight. Looks like Lewin diving in for some terror just to help rout that center unit. And then I just heard a wind blast, but I didn't see where it went. Nope, I certainly didn't. Malekith is diving in, trying to get on top of Lewin, but Lewin is going to pull out. And all of the bows are going to target on top of Malekith now. And Malekith isn't going to be happy about that. Going to take quite a lot of damage. And is that Lewin coming in for a rear charge now on top of Malekith? And Malekith is taking a lot of free damage. But look at this. All of the Cold One Knights are diving in, and there's no heals. So Lewin's going to have to pull out. Looks like he's going to do it just in the nick of time to get away from those Cold One Knights. But look at that. He got staggered. And now Lewin is going to be in trouble if he doesn't get out of there. But look at that. Gaze of Malice being perfectly cast on top of those Peasant Bowmen. Bretonnian Knights desperately trying to get in here and help Lewin. It looks like they'll just be able to come through the gaps. But look at this. Arkhan the Black doing an expert move here, getting on top of the Damsel of Heavens. Damsel of Heavens can be so important, and she may not come back from routing. She may go right off the map. And if that happens, then we're going to see the magic for Bretonnia taken out within the first 3 minutes of the battle, and boom, there they go. But in return, King Lewin Leoncoeur diving in, trying to get on top of Malekith. Malekith going to be pulling out of here, and now the Reaper Bolter are going to keep on firing in and doing its damage. Oh my goodness gracious. Over here, the Companions of Corel are taking so much damage. They're in lance formation, but they're surrounded by a lot of chaff, and the Cold One Knights are just going to have their way with them over enough time. But Lewin Leoncoeur needs to figure out what he's doing right now. Looks like he's turning around to help dive into these Grail Knights with their combat. But he really needs to be careful. At this stage in the battle, I'm really concerned with, you know, the Dark Elves. Well, concerned with the Bretonnians' position right here. Hargoneth Executioners are still completely healthy. Terror's going to kick on these Cold One Knights, so they need to pull out of here quick before the Hargoneth Executioners get involved. Malekith continuing to be targeted by all of these mounted yeoman archers. Lewin coming up to try to help him out. But right now, balance of power is in favor of Arkhan the Black and his Bretonnians. I mean, and his Dark Elves. While Crusader is playing catch-up. And guess what? The Reaper Bolt Thrower is still firing this entire battle. Nothing has challenged it. And, you know, I don't know. I think Lewin has to go deal with these Cold One Knights, try to regather his missile troops. Because until he regathers missile troops, he won't be able to do jack. Malekith is trying to run away. He has Soul Stealer, so I think he's saving it for a really rainy day. We're going to see Lewin diving into these Cold One Knights, and then the Companions of Corel and the Grail Knights are probably going to turn around for a counter charge of their own, and these guys, I imagine, will go down rather quickly. But Reaper Bolt Thrower, Repeater Crossbows doing quite a lot of damage there. We're going to see Lewin popping Stand Your Ground and Foe Seeker. Dread Spears coming in to support Malekith, though. Soul Stealer coming down here. And then I think we're also going to see the Sword of Corone going down on top of Malekith. But with the Soul Stealer, who's... Oh my goodness, the Soul Stealer is healing up Malekith so much. But now we have all these Knights diving into combat. Lewin Leoncoeur, oh my goodness gracious. This is so close. If he can kill Malekith right now, he can bring this back. If he doesn't kill Malekith right now, I think the game may be over. Oh my goodness. Look at it. Malekith is so low. And, oh, King Lewin Leoncoeur with the beautiful maneuvering going around those Repeater Crossbows. And, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Malekith is desperately trying to get away from Lewin Leoncoeur. If he pops a Foe Seeker, will he be able to catch him? But on the field right now, the Dark Elves are still in a very commanding position. Most of the Bretonnian forces are routing at the moment. Repeater Crossbows and the Reaper Bolt Thrower are both going to be firing at Lewin. Will he be able to kill these guys off? Back here, the Bretonnians are technically attacking. They have their archers firing at people. You got these mounted yeomen coming over to help out. I would love to see him peel one of these units off and shut down this damn artillery piece before it single-handedly loses in the battle. But look at this. Lewin is going to keep on getting shot by the Reaper Bolt Throwers and the Repeater Crossbows. But the mounted yeomen looking like they're trying to get on top of these guys and are going to keep them out of here. Now, there goes Foe Seeker. Will Lewin be able to get a shot off? Or is he just going to continue? Oh! That one actually hit Malekith. Oh my god, Malekith is down pretty low on health. And look at that, a big hit. 319 is his health. He's going to start routing. And oh my god, look at that! Malekith is dead as a doornail on the ground. And Lewin has just given himself a fighting chance. And look at this. With the mounted yeoman, he's going to start coming over here. He can shut down this artillery even though it's basically out of ammunition. What kind of kills are we looking at here? 23. Did so much work. And, oh my god, chat. I think we're going to see a comeback. Because look at this. Lewin is going to be regenerating. And he has quite a lot of health to regenerate. So, mounted yeomen are going to shut down this Reaper bolt thrower. The archers are back online. I don't think there's enough anti-large on the field. We have one unit of Cold One Knights that is still looking healthy. And the Harganeth Executioners will be a tough nut to crack. But with cycle... with a surround charge from the mounted yeoman and then the dive in from Lewin with Sword of Corone, I'm sure he can take care of these guys pretty easily. So right now, mobility and leadership in favor of the Bretonnians, but numbers in favor of the Dark Elves. And not insignificant numbers too. Because we got here the Harganeth Executioners down on the ground. It looks like both players are... repositioning, so I'm going to allow it. You can see that they're not like draw guiding each other. Lewin's coming out here to target these guys who are still not quite in position, try and take them out so they can't regroup, and look at that, he succeeded. A shatter after one charge. Dark Elves are regrouping together. I have to respect that decision. You need to keep everybody as close as possible so you don't just get charged down to death. But yeah, right now, look at this. The Cold One Knight's getting targeted. Looks like Lewin Leoncoeur deciding, you know what, fuck it. These guys are the most threatening unit on the field for me right now. Let's kill them before they get with the infantry. Because as soon as they get with the infantry, they're going to be a much more potent force to deal with. And right now, mounted yeomen diving into bleak swords. And what a fight, guys. We are now closing in on the halfway mark in this fight, coming up on 10 minutes. And both players regrouping. And I think Bretonnians are going to be able to pull this off. In spite of what looked like very, very dire circumstances. Lewin going to take off right now. And we'll see if he comes around to try and take out these Cold One Knights once and for all. Whatever he does, he'll want to do it as far away from as possible from these Harganeth Executioners, because their armor piercing will be absolutely devastating. And just like that, guys, an incredibly close battle. But I don't see how the Dark Elves are going to do this with Lewin on the field. Because as the battle wears on, the Bretonnians are getting stronger and the Dark Elves are getting weaker. They have no more leadership left. And Lewin is continuing to recharge his health. He's back up to 237 right now. And I don't know. Balance power is still in favor of the Dark Elves, though.
Incoming enemy fire!
So here come the peasant bowmen are now in range. They're going to start firing into these guys. Oh boy.
The battle is lost!
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to pull this off. Because like Lewin could dive into these guys right now and not even have to worry about it, like honestly. And it looks like he's getting ready to do just that. Alright, yep, there's the rear charge from Lewin. And now a rear charge from the mounted yeoman into the knights. Terror's going to kick in. And Terror's going to kick in on these guys too in a second. There it goes. And now we have the Harganeth Executioners, who are the only ones left. They're getting a rear charge on top of them. We have Lewin on top of... oh man. What a fucking game, guys. Arkhan the Black. Very, very well played series to him. That first battle was a rather convincing victory with his Vampire Coast, but I think Crusaders got this in the bag, and I really thought he had lost that. So well played to him, especially. Like, I did not expect that comeback, and yet here he is. Never doubt Lewin Leoncoeur. He's going to kill off the rest of these Cold Ones as the corpse of Malekith just lays there awkwardly. Lewin Leoncoeur. They're over here killing the Dread Spears, and now it's just time to kill off the Harganeth Executioners, and GG, well played both. I guess I should wait to do that so it's not like rude. All right, let's do it. Here we go. Lewin dives in with the charge. He's going to pop Sword of Corone, or does he not have that recharged yet, possibly? Lewin and the Mounted Yeoman dive into said Argonath Executioners. Sword of Corone goes down, and now we see who wins. And there goes the rout. Argonath Executioners going to turn around, and Crusader going to win that in a very close 2-1 series. Yeah, even the yeah, Bretonia's dope, Black Phillip. Hard garbage executioners. Yeah. Yeah, very good game to both players there. Crusader, really good comeback there. I thought he had lost. I mean, he lost that Damsel of Heavens early on. King Lewin used expertly. And then he had some pretty bad engagements with some of his cavalry there. Mounted Yeoman archers getting far more kills than most of the cavalry. Argonath Executioners getting a ton. Malekith being used expertly there. Malekith doing really good work. And, yeah, great game to both players, like, honestly. That was a very fun matchup. Yeah, you see, look at that. Good game from Arkhan, good game from Crusader. Everybody's being respectful. Gotta love it. Let's go ahead and check those brackets. And it looks like we are now into the semis. And we got Migsaa versus Xiphos up for
Fear, Romulan is finally here.
Woo! We got Romulan dog, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing quite well. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in balmy Massachusetts. And yeah, some great games I've seen so far, and looking forward to the rest of the tourney. Should be should be awesome.
Yeah, same here, man. Some really good games so far, and people weren't too happy about the undead matchups, but I have to say, even the undead matchups have been interesting. So,
yeah, you got the Necrofex Colossus.
Yeah,
that flamethrower.
The
Reminds me of flame weeding in the summer. But
I was gonna say that, but I wasn't sure if that was just like a random example that nobody would get. But yeah,
I saw that too for sure. You got the little skeleton chaffs. Now I'm just gonna picture that whenever I'm doing yard work. I'm just gonna see little skeletons all over the yard.
Even the way he moved looked like he was burning weeds. But in any case,
yeah, man.
Let's get into the armies here. Do you want to take Bretonia for us?
Well, I am on the Bretonian side. I know you are. You do like your greenies, so I will go with these filthy peasants and the noble knights. Shall I start us off?
Yes, you shall, sir.
I forgot to ask. How are you doing today? Are you doing well?
I'm doing perfect, man. I have a final tournament. There's good turnout. All the players are here. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear, man. And this is quite a Bretonian army. I think we're gonna like it. But we'll go over the infantry corps starting. Of course, the most important part of every Bretonian army, the peasants. And we do have 3 peasant mobs. They are the heart and soul of every Bretonian army. Now we have like 2 men-at-arms.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have 2 men-at-arms spears. Sorry, my screen just went black for a moment. And then now we have 3 foot squires, one of them being the beast slayers of Bastogne, the ROR. And we do have 2 royal hippogriff knights in the air for a total of 12 hippos. Don't often see this, but it's a glorious sight indeed.
It is.
Now for the rest of the cav, we have 2 mounted yeomen going all over the map. Someone's being very tricky. And then we have some knights. I thought we had some more cav, but it looks to be it. And then for the leadership, we have 2 paladins, each on a horse, each with just with guardian. And of course we have the Fae. Enchantress, she has all the standard stuff: Chalice of Potions, Favor of the Fae, Arcane Conduit, Regrowth, Earthblood, and Mist the Lady, as well as Life Bloom. Now, what has the Green Tide brought to deal with this Bretonian threat, my son?
It's an excellent question. I just want to say I love the double hippos. But yeah, starting with the infantry corps for the Greenskins, looks like we're going to have 3 gobos. we're going to have a unit of Night Goblins here. They look like they're going to go ahead and be the 8-peak, no, sorry, the Warlord, no, yeah, the 8-peak loonies, the Unbreakable variant. Aside from that, in the back line, we're going to have a unit of Orc Biggins, as well as 2 units of Black Orcs. Then we're going to have some missile units here consisting of Orc Air Boys, 2 of them to be exact, as well as some Forest Goblin Spider Riders here in the back line. Up front, we'll have some more skirmishing in the form of 2 Forest Goblin Spider Riders. We are then going to have a Doom Diver Catapult here on the edge of the forest. And just before I go any further, make sure I'm not missing anything. This is both very strange armies. I really like this. Both personalities clearly showing in the builds. We're going to have the Arachnarok Queen. We're going to have a Goblin Big Boss on top of a wolf here, naked, probably to hunt down that Fey Enchantress. And then for our final leader, we are going to have Azag the Slaughterer on foot. He's going to be bringing Wa, Foe Seeker, and Spirit Leech along with Get On With It and Life Leeching, as well as the Spider Banner to give himself that poison since he's not on his Wyvern. And I do believe that rounds out the force, so can go ahead and let these people know we're good to go. Initial impressions, Romulan.
It looks like, for the most part, they have the standard stuff. Greenskins, Spirit Leech, the Spider. Only 2 Black Orcs, though. Usually you want at least 3 or 4 in this matchup, so that can be a bit odd. Although we do have... Yeah, and for Britonia, they have some Paladins, they have Hippos, they have what it takes to deal with some of these Black Orcs and the Spider. But, it's interesting, no Cav on the ground for Britonia.
I was thinking that too. I usually love some Knights
really
of the
could have
Realm
done
here.
well here.
Yeah. Knights of the Realm outclass most anti-large Cav for the Greenskins.
Yeah, indeed, and there are no nasty Skulkers to really impede those charges, and with only 2 Black Orcs, there's not much to punish that cycle charge. But we'll see with the 12 Hippos, they should be able to really chunk down some infantry, and see if he's effective at doing so. So if he gets a good charge, could delete a Black Orc, and really put a hurt on this Arachnarok Queen.
Indeed, and those Doom Divers shooting into the mounted yeoman. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, it's the Greenskins, I think, are playing it smart in the forest. But I think he was doing that mostly because he was expecting a lot of cavalry. But now that he sees there's a lot of infantry, I'm kind of curious to see what he does. But I suppose fighting the forest will still benefit him a lot with those Hippogriff Knights as they try to cycle in and out. The forest will slow him down significantly.
Yeah, absolutely. Though we are starting to see him creep more and more out of the forest, which is curious. He's really relinquishing what is a very good position for himself. And I mean, if he goes out much further, he could be subject to some very devastating cycle charges from these Hippos. And
yeah, you're not wrong at all. And I guess it's curious to see what he pushes out. I mean,
yeah, an initial. This is a bad engagement. See this, my son? Look! Oh, look! The spiders are getting caught.
Yes, they are. Will they be able to get out of there? Or no? Terror's probably going to kick in. Yeah, Terror's going to kick in, and those mounted yeomen will be able to chase them off the map.
Yeah, and it looks like, oh, look at that. The spiders are fleeing away from their lines and straight towards the end of the map.
Yep.
Yeah, these spiders could be. Looks like they're lost.
Yeah, no, Fey Enchantress is on. Oh, no, there they go. They stopped routing. Oh, where are they going?
Yeah, will they be re-microed? Oh, no, they're going. It looks like they're going to eat the charge, and that should be it for them.
Oh, Gobos are going in now.
Oh, the Battle of Champions. Peasants versus Goblins.
And there it is. The lines are beginning to meet. And Goblins are going to win that fight, no problem. At least the peasant mob. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how the Bretonian infantry does here. The foot squires are nice, but usually they just don't do well when it comes to those Black Orcs and big uns. So we'll see if they can chew through it or if it's going to be an overspend.
Oh wow, look at this. The Greenskins just pouring into the middle, trying to, I don't know, maybe trying to break these peasants quickly, but it looks like this could be
it almost looks like he baited the Hippogriff Knights in there, though, because the Hippogriff Knights are now stuck behind the enemy lines. However, it does look like that Chalice of Potions is going to go down on the big uns, which will probably break them. But yeah, Hippogriff Knight's taking a ton of damage.
Yeah, wow, look at that. They still have 6 models, though, so they could heal this back up if there's a nice regrowth growing on top of them, but it seems
absolutely
late. Now there are some hippos coming from the right flank. Now the entire center for the orcs have shattered, except for the bastion of the spider and the leadership remaining.
Yeah, they were able to rout the Hippogriff Knights, but they got a regrowth on them and still have 5 models, so they'll be coming back, like you were saying. And the Noble's taking a ton of damage, one of them getting terrified, though. And Ragnarok Queen and Azag doing really good together, especially with that Gabo Big Boss in there, too. It seems like that leadership combo is just proving very effective. And the Mao that there's Black Orcs in there, Romulan, I don't know if that center is really as shattered as it as the Bretonnians initially thought it was.
They've been able to patch that hole in the center, and now the Greenskins are holding strong. They have archers firing in. Doomdiver is uncompromised, and the Gabo Shaman's coming out of the forest. Looks like he's going to get some cheeky playing here. Maybe delete another Paladin.
Yeah. It looks like the Hippogriff Knights are diving in the back, trying to get on top of the Forest Goblin Spider Riders and other archers. Shut them down.
Yeah, this is what they want to do, though, because they're getting shot to pieces, and they need to break the front to have any hope of getting after the Ragnarok Queen. And although it's good to take out the archers, it's just not what they need to be doing right now.
Well, you're absolutely right, and it's just cost inefficiency. You know, that's 2,000 points trying to chase down a couple hundred, and, you know, mounted yeomen are just going to be so much better at chasing those guys down than Hippogriff Knights. It's just too much of an expense being sent to chase down something that's not really worth.
And even that, yeah, and he has a full unit of spears on the right flank, the Bretonnian player. That's just not doing anything. It could be occupying those archers.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And where's that spear? Oh, yeah, they're here in the forest. Looks like Xiphos forgot about those, and Migsaa with his greenskins is starting to take a more commanding position as this battle wears on. I mean, but look at that.
This is a great charge on the spider, though.
Yeah, Ragnarok Queen is not feeling good right now. Completely surrounded.
Yeah, it's tough, though. It's at about 50% health, as are the hippos trying to take it down. Yeah, this is the battle for the game. They are pulling it back towards the middle, the Bretonnians are. It was quite a swing just from that single charge.
They definitely were, but with 2 Black Orcs in the combat and all of this range pouring in, I just really don't see the Bretonnians getting the better side of this engagement in the center anymore. Although this Chalice of Potions...
Big Chalice of Potions, but looks like
Migsa's gonna pull out, yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, looks like it killed more foot squires than Black Orcs, actually.
It did, and now another Waz getting popped, so... Yeah, this just looks like the Bretonnians are getting overrun.
Indeed, the hippos really came out worse in that engagement, and now the center with Bretonnians is fully broken, except for one hippo, the Fae, just trying to hold on.
Yeah.
While the green tide envelops them.
Yeah, here comes that mention, I mean, those spearmen you had mentioned earlier coming in for the fight, but at this point, just going to be a little too late, I think.
Yeah, they're a bit late to the party here. Now they're just target practice for the archers here.
Yep. And you still got Azag doing well on his health. Azag on foot, a very solid pick here, in my opinion.
Indeed, that Spirit Leech and just the tankiness he provides, the poison. Yeah, can be very tough for Bretonnia.
Most certainly. He's not a bad lord in combat when he's on foot. Not somebody you want to go toe-to-toe with a full combat lord, but against the Fae and people like that, yeah, as far as dual casters go, he's pretty good.
Indeed, and yeah, the Bretonnians have just about shattered. They're trying to regroup, but any moment the army losses penalty will kick in.
Yeah.
They're very close to that.
I think so, and I think one more Vindictive Glare from the Night Goblin could potentially just wipe out one of the leadership units.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're very close to just full-out breaking here.
Let's see, look, here comes the Noble.
Alright, we're getting a big hit. Ooh. I think that... Oh, no, there's still 3 hippos in one unit, and there are 4 in another. So there's still 7 hippos.
But the Doomdiver Catapult is... oh, man. It's coming in. After the hippos, it looks like.
Yeah, look at those brave goblins.
Just flying into the Hippogriff Knights in the air. And look at that, a hit. Another hit. Oh my god, he's still flying around next to him. Look at this guy.
Is he?
Look, he's still flying. What is this Gabo doing?
What is going on?
He just does...
that was clearly a Gabo Shaman who went for a ride. He definitely had some magic powers, some use of the winds, some magic there. Because that was Yeah, that was otherworldly.
Oh, that was a pleasure.
Yeah, can someone clip that? That was great.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Absolutely, man. Oh boy. That
Uh-oh,
was
here
a
comes
treat.
another Gobbo flying in, and that one exploded into that Hippogriff Knight. Oh god, I love the Doom Diver Catapult. This is why Greenskins is my favorite faction. They just got the best humor to them.
Ooh, another one.
Another one,
Another
man.
Gobbo Lanson. Yeah, indeed, I do love the Doom Diver myself. It was amazing. Originally on release, it did so much damage.
Oh yeah, that was like what you had to bring on release.
Yeah, basically.
But man,
Oh,
look at
these.
that.
Oh, and a Hippo falls.
Damn, Gobbos at our just to make sure it's dead. Let's crash into its corpse.
Yeah. Now, Xiphos does need to attack since
He
he's
does.
chasing
Is
out
he
these
not-
routing units. Not attacking anything. As chasing off routing units does not count. You do need something at least using ammo or attacking. Now, Riggsen's fine since he's shooting the Bretonnian troops here, so he is satisfying the attacking role.
Yep,
Of
he
course,
is.
Doom Diver, all the while, yeah.
Yeah.
But Xiphos, I mean, he's getting pretty close to just penalty, because it's been a minute.
Yeah, but okay, they're off the map, so
Oh, okay.
he should
Now it
be
counts.
coming
Yeah,
back. Come on.
It's okay
Yeah,
now.
he's fighting the spiders.
Yeah. Alright. That should be all good, though. I'm not sure how much he can really do with the Hippos.
The balance of
He has
power
6.
is pretty even, strangely.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sorry,
there
what
are
were you saying?
5 Hippos left, and one's at its healing cap, the other one... I mean, it has 3 models, but...
Yeah, so I guess it can heal up too.
I don't know, I just think he's prolonging the inevitable. He can't kill these Black Orcs. And
Yeah.
there's so much leadership still alive with the Greenskins, though the Spider is
Yeah.
quite low.
You know, I have to agree with you here. I think he's prolonging the inevitable. I think the balance of power is not being as truthful as it should, but here comes the Fey Enchantress, and now he's just going head into combat.
Yeah, this should be baiting out the charge and trying to get a full surround on the Spider, but I don't know, it looks like he's, maybe it was a mistake because he's not following up with the charge. One Hippo's routed, the other one is just like flying around dodging shots. And yeah, the Fey might rout here, and that'll be,
And
that
GG
will.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, there goes the Fey, and
GG.
GG, well played to both.
Yeah, it's, I do think Greenskins are definitely favored in that matchup, and the Spider just so tough for the for Bretonnia to kill. It just snacks on Hippos.
Gobbo King, good to see you, man. I was looking to say Chubby or Kark. I haven't seen
Welcome.
Kark. But no, that was a crazy battle. I mean, really good. And routing boys, no, you can't chase. Chasing routing units doesn't count as attacking Nithadris. But
Yeah, that was something that was changed a while back. I guess
Yeah.
it's been about a month now though. So
yeah, I remember Shetland changed it in his tournament rules a while back.
Yep.
But looking at the two armies here, I mean, the Hippogriff Knight's got some good kills, but I really think it's a mistake, and I tell everybody every time, like, why as Bretonnia would you want to emphasize a lot of spending on infantry against the Greenskins? I don't agree with the logic. I just feel like Foot Squires get stomped so easily. They're nearly not worth the 700 gold when you can bring some Knights Errant or Knights of the Realm instead. But what are your thoughts there?
I think they can come in handy in some cases, like the Beast Slayers, to try and help with the Spider and try and
That's
hold
true,
back some Black
yeah.
Orcs. Because they're not really so much for killing the Blorks, they're more for... I mean, they wear them down, but they hold them back a little bit. And
Yeah.
I mean, you could just go with pole arms as well for some AP, try and help bring down the Spider. But if you're going to go with a lot of infantry, I think you need a Grail Relic, especially after its buffs. I mean, 55 meters, extra leadership, immune to psych. You kind of need that to help with your infantry. But I think instead of the Foot Squires, sometimes a few Trebs can really be invaluable in this matchup
Yeah.
to help wear down the Blorks, some of the other infantry, and then do a little counter skirm with the Doom Diver and try and force the Greenskins towards you. And if you can force them towards you, that's a massive advantage, as you might be able to, get more cycle charges off and just a better use of your cav.
No,
But since the Greenskins can sit in a forest, it's tough sledding. So I think a couple Trebs instead of the Foot Squires, and I think Luen or some kind of Hippo Lord that can really fight the Spider. But it's tough. It's definitely tough for Bretonnia.
Yeah, most certainly a tough fight for him, and I
The
think he
Blorks are
played that
just
well.
the best spears, you know.
Yeah, Blork's best spears in the damn game.
Yeah.
Man, here we go. Let's remove my ugly mug, this army blocker. And right now it's 1-0 Migsaa. And he's bringing Bretonia against the High Elves of Xiphos. So, curious to see how this works out. This is going to be very interesting and one of my favorite maps. So, we'll see. Migsaa, that last battle, played it really, really well. So, curious to see how he fares in this one. Because I think this is another matchup where I'm going to give the edge faction-wise to Migsaa again. Even though there's plenty of people who disagreed with me at the last round. I saw quite a few people in chat saying Bretonia has the advantage there, but I'll stand by my greenskins.
Yeah, I think Bretonia has a lot of counterplay in just about any matchup, but there are a lot of matchups they're just not favored in. But they can always have, you know, units be heroes and pull it through for them. That's why they have the, you know, the blessed heroes of Bretonia. Ride out for Leech and Lady.
And here
it's like
we
a
are.
pretty standard army from Xiphos.
Yeah, standard on both sides, it's kind of seeming. So, well, actually, yeah, I guess pretty standard. Well, which side do you want, sir? You can pick this one because I like these factions kind of equally, honestly.
I'll start with the High Elf side, as
All
I'm
right.
here already. And, yeah, it's quite straightforward. Starting with the infantry, we have 3 spears. One of them, the ROR, Scions of Tlaxtlan. For that AoE physical resist buff.
12%, right?
I believe so. Let's take a quick look.
Yeah.
Actually, is it physical resist or is it a straight ward save?
It's a straight ward save. It's damage resistance,
Yeah.
so 12%.
Very nice. Then, Phoenix Guard. Oh, wow. Defensive on geometry here. The Hexagon of Doom. So we have 3 Phoenix Guard, just a standard. We have 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. Now for the leadership, we have a Mage of High Magic. Looks like she just has Tempest and Apotheosis. No, just Tempest. Which is, yeah, it just looks like it's going to be a waste here. So I didn't see any flyers for Bretonia.
Yeah, no.
Oh, never mind. They do have Luen, so yeah. Could be quite useful here to slow down Luen's
Yeah, so we got Tempest.
harassment. Yeah. But we do have a Lore Master as well for Earthblood to heal this blob. And Spirit Leech. So, interesting pick here. As well, he has a Lore Master's Cloak for magic resistance. So that's going to help against the any damage coming from the Cav.
Oh, yeah,
And yeah,
significantly.
Spirit Leech. And that Spirit Leech is going to be very useful here. So there's not a lot of Cav. He could delete these 3 units of Cav and have a good shot from there.
Yeah, no, I mean, and when you think of that ward save, 12% plus the, 24% magic resist?
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
22.
22, so you're looking at 34% resistance from any Grell units, so from pretty much everything in this blob. So it's about a third of the damage being negated, which is rather significant. And if you can use that Howling Warp Gale and Spirit Leech well, then I think we'll see a pretty... Well, I don't know. It's going to be tough. In my opinion, I rarely see defensive geometry work out well in the end. But
yeah, it can be quite difficult. But it should be a tough box to crack. But also we have a princess on a Star Dragon. She has Volley of High Arrows, it looks like. Talisman of Loic. Foe Seeker. And that is it. But yeah, what has Bretonia brought for us, my son?
Well, Bretonia starting once again with the infantry. Got 2 peasant mob, make that 3 peasant mob. He's going to have 4 spearmen at arms as well as 2 men at arms. He's going to have 2 Grail Knights. Wait, just kidding. So a unit of Grail Knights, the Knights of the Lion-Hearted Regiment Renowned Knights of the Realm, as well as the Defenders of the Florida Lee, the Regiment Renowned Knights Errant. Other than this, he will have what appears to be 2 units of Mounted Yeoman Archers. He's going to have a Damsel of Life with Regrowth, Earthblood, and the Power Stone. He's going to have a Trebuchet with a 3rd unit of Spearmen protecting it. And then he is going to have a Noble down on the ground with Guardian on a horse. And he's going to have King Lewin up in the air with the Sword of Corone, the what the hell is that magic shield thing called? The Lion Shield, Foe Seeker, Beloved Son of Bretonia, Ladies Champion, and the Blessing of the Lady. So, that rounds it out. And now here we are. Bretonia going to try to lob rocks. And also, I think there's... 3 units of mounted yeomen, because I just realized one of them vanguard just back here, which is a very smart move, allowing him to throw that rock trebuchet rounds over the ridge onto the very elite high elf infantry.
Now it's a little bit of a standoff initially. Neither side wanting to engage right away, trying to a little bit of positioning and skirmish. And it's interesting. Look at this. The eagle claw bow throwers have crept out of the box here, or the hexagon, I should say. If these yeomen could get a little cheeky charge, perhaps they could eliminate these bow throwers from the game.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm curious to know what he's going to do here. It looks like, okay, he's coming up and he's going to be able to fire over the ridge himself. And it looks like now, wow, just going to focus on taking down that trebuchet as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think what Migsaa needs to do here is he needs to drop the artillery and run his crew away.
Yeah.
And then just annoy and frustrate this action here. Don't make it easy for, yeah. Although, wow, yeah, Spear Leech coming down. This will probably kill the models.
Yep, there we go. 2 of the trebuchets are broken, only 1 online, and looks like that's a very good play coming in from Xiphos to neutralize that artillery and force the Bretonnians to him. But look at this.
Oh, here we go.
Migsaa bolt thrower. Looks like the spearmen are going to get there just in time, though.
Yeah, but he did get there. Looks like he's knocked, yeah, both of them off the artillery for now. And let's see if he follows up with a nice cav charge while these units aren't braced and just moving freely. It could be a, oh no, he's just sitting this cav. That's a mistake. He needs to charge in.
Yeah.
Big missed opportunity. Ooh, and the air battle has started. Look at this. Tempest is about to go down.
And Lewin, with the Sword of Corone and Foe Seeker, just doing so much work. The Lion Shield going down for that magic resist, as well as that missile resist, but Howling Warp Gale. Boom.
Tempest.
Oh, Tempest, sorry, yeah. Tempest going in there.
Yeah, look, that's going to save the dragon just in time. Now the cav is charging in, but all the spears are braced. Those charges aren't going to be quite as
Oh my god, that breath directly into Lewin did so much damage.
Oh, wow.
That was absolutely bonkers. And look at this, going in for the rear charge now. We're going to see that regrowth.
Trying to get out of there.
Oh yeah,
running
regrowth.
For his life. Oh wow.
Man, that regrowth was so well timed. Like, he needed that regrowth then and at no other time. But now Lewin's coming in to hit the princess. At this point, it looks like, yeah, trying to dive down and lead Lewin into the combat.
Oh! Just flushed that paladin. That was a double hit. It's going to be a triple.
Oh my god, that was
and
absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was just brutal. Although it looks like a big Earthblood going down, healing up the paladin. And Lewin has come down to be a hero and save this paladin. And he's nipping at this dragon's butt, and the dragon's trying to get out of there desperately.
I mean, Lewin needs to be careful, though, because he's pulling out now. You just don't want to be around Phoenix Guard and Lore Master of Hoeth when there's a princess nearby, you know? It's how you get killed. But Lewin almost back to full health right now with his regeneration, and since the High Elves don't have regrowth, it's going to be tough to heal that Star Dragon back up. And look at that, another breath.
It's not the best breath, though. It would have been better if you could have got a nice angle on it, but here we go. Some Grail Knights are charging in, but there looks to be a nice gap forming in this box. Oh, there we go. Migsa's got it. Got through one of the gaps and hit these spears right in the back. Lewin's going for it. Going right after the Star Dragon. In the middle of Phoenix Guard, no less.
Oh, yeah, and now here comes the Grail Knights coming in for the Star Dragon, too.
That's a beautiful move. He shot this gap in the box. Got a nice rear charge here, and these Grail Knights should rip this princess apart.
Definitely, but it looks like she's going to be able to pull through without too much of an issue, because look, Phoenix Guard are now tying down a lot of the Grail Knights. So,
yeah, those Grails need to get out of there. They're getting shredded now.
Yeah.
What was a good move is now being punished.
And look at that. Now Lewin's trying to get out of there. Star Dragon diving in, trying to keep him down, but he's going to be able to pull out without too much difficulty. And I think those Grail Knights are basically as good as dead. Look how many were lost in that maneuver.
Yeah, it's a shame. It was a beautiful move initially, but yeah, he just he stayed too long in there, and Phoenix Guard just punished him. But I think it's just going to come down to, does Luen die or does the Star Dragon? Because from there, Luen should be able to mop up most of this chaff, and it looks like, 278 HP.
My goodness gracious.
Luen's getting shot.
Only 166, and now Luen's up in the air, and that Star Dragon won't be coming back. But at this point, do the Bretonnians have enough cav to finish off all this high elf infantry? Because they still have 2 leadership units left. It's not like the battle's over.
Bretonnians, yeah, you're right. They do have a lot of leadership supporting this, but their lord has died. You know, my son, I don't think the Bretts have enough cav to deal with this. I don't think they have enough infantry to deal with this high elf blob, but they have their king. They do. Luen Lianke. And I think he will just mop up the rest of this Phoenix Guard with just chunking it down, killing models, as Phoenix Guard only have 6,000 HP. Relatively low for an elite infantry unit. And I think Luen's going to be able to chunk them down, but he's at his healing cap, though.
He's at his healing cap, though. One of them is full health. The other 2 are at half health or over. The Lore Master Hoth will be able to provide that armor piercing when Luen lands. I don't know, man. This is really close, but I guess we'll have to see. Lore Master getting charged into by Luen and knocked out of his position.
Yeah, it's a great move. He can knock these heroes out and systematically eliminate them one by one. Yeah, look at this blob. Just imagine a Dwellers here, my son. This is sometimes why you really need a Vortex in this matchup.
Yeah.
But then again, it can be risky if they go wide. This, so much Phoenix Guard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough nut to crack.
Can you imagine a Wind Blast or something too? Like, oh man, there's so many spells.
My goodness.
Oh.
Yeah, without spells to punish this, this becomes very viable, very strong.
Yeah.
I like that he's not committing all his infantry at once. He's allowing some to fight. You know, satisfy the rule while Luen does the heavy lifting here.
Exactly. Making sure he has chaff in combat to give Luen the maneuverability to dive around as much as he wants. And right now he's taking chip damage, but it's just without any mass to hold him in place. He just kind of gets to pick when he comes and when he goes. But yeah, what is his health at now? 1,700.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
I don't know how many more of these cycles he's going to survive. But continuing to try to kill off that high elf caster. Lore Master coming in trying to get a hit on. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough here. I mean, some of these Phoenix Guard are getting a little worn down. Sword Groan's really helping, but my goodness, if they only had just a single trip online still. Imagine that.
Yeah.
This game would be over.
Oh, terror kicking down on top of the Lore Master of Hoeth, though. Luen needs to get back in there and make sure that he doesn't keep...
As well, the mage is very close to routing.
Yeah,
the single discharge should be it.
Yeah, no, okay. Dude, look at this guy. I think Migsa's bringing it back, dude. Oh, no, Lore Master's back online. Oh,
yeah,
my
he has
God.
to be really careful about these charges. I mean, he has to get in, hit, get right out. He
Yeah.
can't afford to take any more damage. Once he gets below 1,000, I mean, that could start affecting the leadership of all these units around him. But since his Luen's leadership is pretty stable, you know, all these peasants are holding strong.
Oh, yeah, and he's just getting such mean charges in, and Luen just taking this Lore Master of Hoeth to class.
Yeah, but he needs to get right out. I mean, he's losing HP very quickly. At 1,100. Getting close to 1,000 now, 1055.
I don't know, guys. I just don't know.
The power bar has crept back in favor of, well, it's about dead even. It was a bit in the favor of the high elves prior.
It definitely was.
Yeah. And I guess even now it's slightly in the high elf's favor, but still pretty much dead even. And here we go. Luen's being smart. He's getting right out. Still above 1,000 HP.
Oh man, I cannot imagine how frustrated Xiphos must be right now. You know, it's tough when you feel just like you're just feeling hopeless right now. I'm sure. It's a big flying bird diving in and out with seeming impunity, and you just can't really do anything but sit there and get pinned in place by peasants and wait for Lewin to do what he's gonna do.
Yep. And now Lewin is just cleaning up the chaff on the perimeters here. Helping to eke that power bar back in his favor. And yeah, these Phoenix Guard are getting worn down. Looks like they've all lost martial prowess at this point.
No, one of them still got it.
Oh yeah, there's that one. But the other two both
Yeah.
have lost martial prowess, and that really hurts their combat stats.
It's true. And let's actually take a look here. So
Yeah, 41 melee defense. When they prior, they had 52.
yeah, 52 and 46.
I guess maybe it's looks like that's slightly adjusted.
No.
Regardless, it's 12 melee defense, 8 melee attack. And with their low HP, you know, it just allows them to get chunked down that much faster.
Absolutely. It's almost a part of me that wishes he would have brought a prince. I feel like he might have been better in combat there, but I know the princess is usually a more popular choice. But that's far past the point of the battle. Here comes a nice surround once again from the Bretonnian peasants, and Lewin looking like he's debating if he wants to dive in or not. Try to knock one of these lords out of the pocket.
Yeah, it seems like, oh, look at this. This box is getting even tighter.
Yep.
Just, you know, pulling it in on, yeah, surrounded on all sides. This is not where you want to be as a high elf.
Nope. And Sword of Karun coming down. And now that the box is too small, that caster's never coming back into it.
Yep. Just
Damsel's gonna finish her off.
Oh, the Lore Master, though, getting right into King Luen.
Oh!
700 health. But looks like, regardless, the Lore Master will not be able to save the mage here. The mage will perish, and perhaps soon this box as well.
Perhaps indeed. I mean, it's still a tough call, though, because at one Spirit Leech, I don't know if he has enough magic. Like, Spirit Leech could really swing this battle. And I know that Lore Master has it, so at this point, there's not enough peasant mob to dent the rest of this high elf infantry. Lewin is the only one who can do it, and if Lewin dies, then I think the lady's hopes die with him.
Yeah, there is still some cab, though. Looks like they're about to charge straight into the Scions. Oh, no. The Scions
turn around! Oh, no!
My goodness, what a devastating charge. Now,
Yeah.
these Phoenix Guard jumping in here might be able to... oh, look at that charge from Lewin.
Oh, yeah. Lewin getting a big hit there and pulling right back out. He ain't taking any chances. Even on that one charge, he took 100 hit points of damage.
Oh, wow, look at this, though. All the Bretonnian infantry is routing or about to rout. Oh, right out of the box.
No!
Out of the box, into the frying pan.
Yep. Out.
Oh, and now the Grail Knights are on him.
Out of the pot
Yeah,
and
once
into
this
the
Lore
fire.
Master goes down. Yeah, I think
Well,
once Lore Master goes down.
If the Lore Master goes down, he's got a lot of reinforcements coming up behind him.
Yeah.
Oh no! Ah! What's gonna happen? Lore Master getting knocked back into his box that time.
And he didn't take a hit. Is he going to get a hit on Luen? No. Luen's only at 641 health, though. My goodness, at his healing cap.
Yeah.
Now look at this high elf line, though. It's just a... I mean, it's not a blob anymore. It's just a line. If he can get a nice rear charge, this could be huge. But the Cav's just sitting in the front, getting torn up by the Phoenix Guard. Not where they want to be.
No, not at all. And Lewin's down to 538. He's still taking damage. Oh my god.
Oh, now the mage. The damsel.
This is... Oh my god. Lewin's gonna die right here.
Yeah, he was trying to save the mage, but I think that's a critical error. He's now in the blob. Phoenix Guard, Lore Master. He's only at 400 health, and yeah, I mean, Sword of Karun doesn't matter. Oh my goodness, that's game.
That's game.
What a crazy turnaround there.
I'll give that a mind blown too.
GG's.
Like, really good
That was
games.
just an epic struggle at the end. I mean, it was a box, but he kept integrity on all flanks and played it patiently. And these this tide of peasantry just broke on the rocks of the high elves.
Yeah.
Those halberds.
Those halberds, man.
Yeah. Look at these Phoenix Guard, 175, 200, 189. Not to mention, I mean, the princess died relatively quickly too. I mean, or at least it was compromised for most of the battle. But wow, what a game! What a game!
Like, really though, that was nuts. The Jedi did it. Yeah, that was a crazy game. That was bananas.
Yeah, now we get a third game, an ace match.
All right, well, let's get to this, guys. We'll keep on talking about Game of Thrones between battles to keep you entertained, because it's also coming on Sunday. But in any case, you want high elves or dark elves, my friend?
You know, I'm on the high elf side, so yeah,
all right.
I'll go with the high side. I have the high ground, Anakin.
Give up.
Anyway, we'll start. We'll start with the infantry. We have a single spearman on either flank. In the center, we have 3 white lions of trace.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the cav, we have, looks like, yeah, a single dragon prince on either flank. Oh no, 1 dragon prince and 1 silver helm with shield. Interesting. Ooh. Each of them flanking a spear. Now we have 2 Illyrian Reaver archers, looks like, or is that, yeah, just 2. 2 Illyrian Reaver archers. Now for the leadership, we have, looks like 1, 2 nobles on chariots. Looks like, I think they have the missile resistance buff. Yep, Sacred Incense for the 12% missile resist in an AoE. And of course we have Ilario the Radiant on her pigeon. Now where'd she go? And looks like she has the Star of Too Much Healing, Arcane Conduit, Tempest, Earthblood, Banishment, Shieldstone of Isha, Boon of Isha, Shield of Safri, and Life Bloom. She's just about fully kitted out, ready to go. And what had the edgy Dark Elves brought for us, my son?
That's a great question. The edgy Dark Elves have brought a rather large army. So we're going to have 4 Dread Spears here. We're going to have 2 Sisters of Slaughter, as well as the Sisters of Singing Doom being the Regiment renowned Witch Elves. We're going to have 3 Dark Riders Repeater Crossbows, a single Cold One Knight Chariot in the center to help out that infantry fight. And then he's going to have 3 Cold One Knights, the CAD variant, in the far back line. Now, let me know if I'm missing anything, but I believe the last unit we have here is the Supreme Sorceress of Shadow on a steed. And she's got Arnzapal's Black Horror, Arcane Conduit, Occam's Mind Razor, as well as Enfeebling Foe, and Melkos Mystifying Miasma. So both players bringing very interesting builds, and I have to say, I like this Supreme Sorceress Shadow. Shadows is still one of my favorite lores of Magic in the entire game.
And the Occam's Mind Razor is no joke. That spell can absolutely shift an engagement very quickly. The massive amount of damage it gives in an AoE if you overcast it. Couple that with Enfeebling Foe, that could quickly spell a win in any cav engagement if the Dark Elves use it carefully and time it well. Wow, look at this noble though. It's that noble is very ambitious. He's going right in there.
Yes, he is. Both of the nobles. You got the Cold One Chariots chasing down one of the nobles, and I love Cold One Chariots because they also have the armor-piercing missiles, and that will get a lot of work done over time.
Ooh, this is looking rough. Looks like one noble is not where he wants to be already. The other one is
getting shot down.
3rd damage. Yeah.
Oh, look at this banishment! Oh, the bait!
Is it all just a bait?
Oh!
Ooh, that's massive.
That did a lot of work. Oh, man.
Well, that's quickly shifted that engagement. The nobles are back to about full health, and yeah, all these Dark Elf units are much worse for wear. Migsaa,
really excellent play, but it looks like we're going to see the Sisters of Singing Doom diving back in here, trying to get that rampage off, and the Supreme Sorceress of Shadows is so hurt.
Yeah, she might be, we'll see. This could quickly go either way.
Yeah, because
if the rampage is triggered,
then there's a leadership squad in a very devastating position. And look at
Indeed,
this. Sisters of Singing Doom getting on the white lines of Trace like... Oh my gosh. Can they get Alariel here? If they can, then this could be a GG. But if not, then the High Elves are probably going to keep the momentum up. Meanwhile, Silver Helms are coming through the back line trying to get on top of these repeater crossbows. But a Melkoth Mystifying Miasma going to slow them down.
And I'm not sure, they don't really want to go after these crossbows. They need to go right. Oh, here we go. Here's the charge. Nice, big rear charge.
Very big rear charge.
Yeah, but look, Alariel made it out of that blob. She was not Rampage, and she's able to fly around and support. And there's a full unit of Dragon Princes come around the left flank here of the Dark Elves.
But, I mean, I just want to bring attention to the fact that these 3 repeater crossbows are still very healthy, and they can do so much work. But, oh man, that second banishment doing a lot of work of its own.
Yeah, my goodness, just ripping this Dark Elf blob to pieces.
Yeah.
Now, the Noble is Rampage, but...
both of them are Rampage now.
Doing all right. Yeah.
Both of them are Rampage with Murderous Prowess Pop and the repeater crossbows all in range. Look at this Noble. Oh my
they're
god.
Just getting deleted. But Dragon Prince is here coming to the rescue.
Dragon Princes are coming in, and that's going to completely turn the tide of that battle. And wow, this has been crazy. The Supreme Sorcerers come back.
Yeah, these repeater crossbows are just crushing everything. These Illyrian Reavers need to chase them off. They need to do it now.
Oh, they need to. And these Dragon Princes are actually taking so much damage, they're going to start chasing. But Rampage is going to kick in, and this battle is so close just because of these these repeater crossbows. They are doing so much for the Dark Elves right now.
Indeed, and my goodness, both Nobles still alive, but these Dragon Princes are just getting deleted now. Torn to shreds by these repeater crossbows, but here we go. Illyrian Reavers finally shooting the gap, but...
Cold One Knight Chariots are still running around with 3 models. Oh my god. Are the Dark Elves going to do this? They just keep on deleting things, but the Supreme Sorceress is diving into combat. What you doing? Oh, never mind. Arnzapal's Black Core, is that about to go down right now?
It's like a...
Oh my goodness. It's going to take out the Illyrian Reavers.
It killed some cold ones as well, but... Yeah, the Illyrian Reavers are down.
Nobles are down. Oh man, so one noble looking like it's down. The other noble still fighting. The infantry has gone towards the Dark Elves now, though.
Yeah, with these repeater crossbows, I think they'll be able to poke down Alariel and any of the cav remaining for the High Elves. And
oh my god!
It says this is a High Elf advantage, but I think Dark Elves are going to take this game.
I have to agree. I mean, Xiphos is playing this so damn well. One thing I would like to see him is conserve his ammo right now. Lariel's just moving. Wait till you pin him in place again. Okay, look at the Noble.
Oh, charging right in.
Charging right in, but do you think she's going to have another Star of Averlorn ready, or did she use both of them?
I've only seen one.
Same.
So we'll see. One of the Nobles is basically at his healing cap already. He only has 600 HP left.
Melkoth Mystifying Miasma on top of the cav.
Oh, that's huge. But now the High Elves need to chase all the repeater crossbows at once. They can't afford to chase, one at a time and get chipped away while doing so.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what these Reavers are doing. This is not. The Reavers went right into Cold One Chariots. That was a tool the High Elves really needed in this late game.
Oh yeah. Nobles coming in for a nice charge into these Dark Elf forces, but repeater crossbows are almost out of ammo. Both Nobles are still alive. If they have a Star of Averlorn, the High Elves could... Oh, there it is!
There it is.
That was... Oh, God.
And I mean, this is still a High Elf favorite, and it's even more so now after that star. One of the Nobles is, 700 HP. The other one had about 1,000. Oh, no. The ammo's running out, though.
Damn.
But it is a full surround again. Another full surround on the High Elves.
It is, and the Star of Averlorn is now done. Can they get the routes? There goes the Dragon Princes. White Lines of Trace are routing. Nobles and Alariel, all that is left, and one of the Nobles is getting melted. Oh,
it's
chain route. There
it's
goes.
A High Elf game.
Yeah. Oh my God.
My goodness. GG, well played to both. That center engagement wasn't just tremendous ebb and flow. Initially, you know, looks like it's all dark elves chipping down the chariots. Then maybe that was all a bait to get that beautiful banishment, which really put a hurt on them. And quickly, it looked like it was a high elf game. And then it was just so back and forth. My goodness,
Yeah,
what a game.
that was so damn close. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people hate the star, but like he was saving that and playing that so patiently. And I think really what lost Xiphos the game is he was shooting at Alariel. He just needed to kill the nobles. As long as that's so, because yeah, those nobles were both
That's the thing though with the
next to
star
dead.
is as the repeater crossbows are trying to shoot the nobles, the star is healing more than it's healing more than they can put out. You know.
No, but
So,
I meant
in
before
end,
the
they
star
just come out
happened.
better.
I was meaning
Yep.
like there was a long period of time where he was shooting at Alariel with the repeater crossbows.
Yeah.
And I think if he would have spent all the ammunition on killing the nobles before he shot Alariel, it would have worked out well there, because in the end what flipped that so hard is that she was able to heal 3 single entity models. If it would have just been her, and I think he could have killed both of the nobles off if he would have spent no time trying to shoot Alariel at the beginning there, because Alariel and melee you don't need to worry about. But oh man, that was such Vampire Coast. Why I need to update the faction banners. Oh no, what's the red faction? Tomb King or Dwarves?
Hurry.
Oh my goodness, are we seeing a Dowie battle for this semi?
Yeah, Tlax showing his flexibility and knowledge of all factions, and oh man.
Oh fuck. All right, do you want Dowie or Vampire Coast?
I definitely want Dowie.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Definitely want to go over the Dowie.
All right,
And
so
what a Dowie army it is indeed. Let's start with the infantry, as always.
yeah,
It looks like it's a lot of chaff. I'm just gonna say that. It is. Well. So these miners keep going all over the place. You see the Dowie army now?
yeah, I'm looking at it. It's hilarious. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and yeah. So it looks like we have just 3 miners. As well, we have
This is the most...
a mix of dwarf warriors and longbeards across the front line.
Mhm.
Like we have, looks like 5 dwarf warriors and 2 longbeards. I think it's just a single longbeard. But anyway, let's get to
range.
the real meat and potatoes of this army, the range component. And oh my goodness, so many range units. It looks like there are 5 quarrelers, 5 rangers, and 1 ranger with great weapon, being the Arawar, Althar's Rangers. Althar's Raiders, that is. And yeah, my goodness, it doesn't look like there's a cannon. Yep, no artillery. And then for the leadership is a single rune lord, just with the rune of Wrath and Ruin.
Wow.
Now let's count up these range units. I think we have. Yeah, it looks like 11.
A lot of range. And well, I guess I'll take a look at this Vampire Coast army, which is what?
We also have a single Bugman Ranger, by the looks of it.
Oh, well, there you go. Damn.
Yep, just so he goes within limits. So yeah.
Well, I mean, for the Vampire Coast, we're gonna see some Vanguard action here with the Saratosa Free Company Militia. Now, yeah, so Saratosa Militia, Saratosa Free Company. I'm guessing the difference is ranged versus melee variants. Yeah, it looks like, what is that, 4 of each? Yep, so 4 of each of those. We're gonna have 4 Moranguls looking like they're coming in to lay down the hurt on those Dowie infantry forces. In the front line here, we're going to see 5 units of zombie deckhand mob, 2 units of zombie pirate gunnery mob with handguns. He is then going to have a vampire fleet captain pistols of vampire. The lower vampires, he's going to have the black Periept, which I've not actually seen before, but increased power reserves and recharge rate, invocation and heck, drowned dead, as well as the curse of undeath. I like that little swing with the sword she keeps doing. Now, that is it. So, good luck, have fun. Ready to both players, and wow, this is gonna be interesting, dude. This is I worry.
So I misspoke. There are 12 crossbows and 1 Althar's Ranger, so 13 range units in total for the Dowie.
This has been absurd.
Yeah. I counted. It's all fine. There are 2 Bugmans, 5 Rangers, 5 Quarrelers, all within limits, and this should be pretty amazing. I love these armies. I love the idea behind them, and
Yeah.
can't wait until this gets going here. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
Hype, chat. Hype.
Hype indeed. I mean, Vampire Coast going for the surround. We'll see how effective they are, but these Mongols are going to have to do so much. They're going to have to really sing for their supper. And I think I would have liked to see more of a 2-pronged approach with the Mongols too, because I worry that the Dawi range is just going to be able to fall back. Soothsayer is so good at, you know, his formations, and as soon as they fall back, they'll just be able to melt these Mongols. But they do have 30% missile resistance, if I recall, so they're definitely not the most susceptible to missile death.
But they do have, you know, only 40 armor, so.
It's true, yeah.
Let's see
40
the actual
armor,
miss.
30% missile resistance.
So it definitely adds up. But like you were saying, yeah, it seems like a missed opportunity. He's not using this a whole other angle of pursuit.
Yeah, no, I just think he really needed to do that, especially with the Mongols. Don't push them up too far just yet. Keep them hidden. Don't show your cards just yet. Wait for the zombies to close the gap. I think he's pushing forward way too quickly with these Mongols.
Absolutely, I agree. That seems very much premature. I mean, this zombie front line is going to make it for, you know, at least a minute or 2, and yet these Mongols are taking 3 damage. And yeah, look, he's surrounded the east, the west, the south, but the north, the whole back flank of the Dawi is, you know, there's no pressure on it.
Yeah.
It's unharassed, so yeah, they have plenty of room to fall back.
Master Rune of Wrath and Rune, as well as the Marked by Ulthar going down on one of the Mongols. And look at the damage these guys are taking. They haven't lost any models yet, but they need to get out of there. I really don't like seeing these Mongols committed so early into the combat when there is so much range right in front of them. Like, I saw this happen in the Skaven versus Vampire Coast battle last week's tournament, where they just got shot up by warp lightning cannons because they all went on the same side. So
yeah, look, one Mongol is it's crumbling. It has an invocation of the Heck popped in it, but I don't think it's going to save it. It's going to be a waste of the Heck, and it's going to be a dead Mongol.
Yeah,
Looks like it's only seconds away from just disintegrating.
absolutely. And I mean, the Dawi right now, there's a lot of bunching of the range units in the background, and think of how much could be punished if they had some units on any other side of the Dawi right now. But he's approaching them head on, front first, and that's really not going well for the Vampire Coast.
Absolutely, and that Mongol it's still crumbling.
Wow, still crumbling. I mean, but it
It's
has
taken a
9
while,
models
but,
left.
yeah.
So, you know, if he can heal up all these Mongols again, which it looks like he's attempting to do, all 4 of them getting close together for that overcast in the Heck, then maybe he can bring this back, because the zombies are closing in now. And I guess the silver lining is the Mongols aren't dead yet, so they can be healed. And a lot of that Dawi fire was all focused on Mongols and ignoring a lot of the other units for the Vampire Coast.
Yeah, and it is big. 9 Mongol models still alive, and not to mention the models can be brought back from the Heck. But now the Quarrelers are just free to melt some of these zombies here.
Yeah.
And the zombies aren't going to do anything to these Dwarf Warriors and the Longbeards.
No.
I mean, they're just going to get chopped to pieces.
Exactly, and it looks like he's trying to split the Mongols off a little bit, but still just... I almost would have liked to have seen him just use the stock and move around a bit more, but I suppose he's deciding that he doesn't have the time to really maneuver them around, circumnavigate the army. He needs to just get on top of these range units ASAP, which I can't disagree with.
Yeah, because it seems like this is the cookie jar. Get into this, and just occupy some of these units, and it could be a quick victory. But this good position here, should be able to ward off the Mongols. Oh, here we go. One Mongol finally made its way into a Quarreler.
Very nice. Another Quarreler is pulling through the Longbeards and about to get down on top of some range units, potentially 2, but Marked by Ulthar going down on it, and it's about to get melted. But look, zombies and Saratosa Free Company, I mean, getting down into the background of these Rangers, so they should do well in that combat.
Yeah, I mean, they are starting to compromise this position, and starting to cut off some of the lanes of pursuit with these zombies in the back here. I guess, no, it's the Sartosa Free Company.
Vampire Fleet Captain is just running around with impunity, like nobody seems to be able to touch her.
Yeah, indeed. Now, these Morgels are just kind of stuck in the front line here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're fighting. Looks like they're trying to retreat now, but they're eating a lot of damage all the while.
Yes, they are.
But still both 12 models.
It's the thing, I mean, if this battle, Invocation into Hex, can really change things, you see here comes a summon. A lot of the range units are now starting to get compromised, and all 4 Mongols miraculously are still alive. That's not something I would have expected 2 minutes ago in this battle.
Indeed, and there's some dwarfs out in the periphery, not really doing anything that need to be refocused back to the center. And there we go. There's one going back to try and clean up the center, which has just become a mess. And the Vampire Coast got right into the cookie jar, and yeah, they're really putting a hurry on these range units. And they still have their Mongols alive.
Yeah, no, the Mongols are still alive, and I mean, where are the Slayers is what I want to know. Were there Slayers here, or?
No, who needs Slayers? Just bring more crossbows, it seems. But you know, I don't know. It seems like they're really putting a dent in the dwarfs, though. I wonder, you know, will they be able to sustain this, or will they just get kind of ground down and withered by all this crossbow fire?
I mean, it's a tough call, but I mean, a lot of the range is compromised at the moment.
Of course, the thing is, it's occupied, but not all of it's dying, because some of it's just zombies on it, and they don't even care about the zombie chaff.
It's a good point. I mean, balance of power is dead even right now. But I'm probably favoring the Dowie at this point, as I imagine.
Oh wow, it's starting to shift though after that invocation of the heck. See that?
Damn. Yeah.
That was a big heck.
Yeah, it was, and the Mongols are still alive.
Yeah.
Like all 4 of them. That's really going to be what loses this for the Dowie, is if those Mongols stay alive.
And they all have pretty high models as well. 9, 12, 11.
And that's really, to me, why you just need the Slayers or something to contend, because the Mongols, as soon as they got in the cookie jar, there was absolutely nothing left to deal with them.
Yeah, perhaps. A couple of the Bugmans cut for a Dragonback Slayer, maybe, because the Dragonbacks could have slowed the Mongols and allowed for more fire coming in. Because, yeah, the Dwarfs are just running for their lives now. And since the Sartosa Free Company is faster than them, they can't get to safe ground. And boom, yeah, Crusader with a beautiful play, grouping up and healing his Mongols, and he rode that to victory.
He really did. I mean, and look at Soothsayer's army. How many Dowie are we looking at here?
Yeah, it's just a massive army, but yeah.
So 23 models in his army. 23 units. And a lot of good kills on him, but once he got in the cookie jar, just like you said, Romulan, it was game over. Those Mongols were just not going away after that. And looks like both of us were dead wrong. Crusader knew what he was doing. Doped those Mongols in, pulled them out, and somehow kept them alive the entire battle. It's awesome.
Quality.
If you guys like animated sci-fi shows, then you better give your due deference to Futurama. Overlap, thank you for the follow. Like, if you like Rick and Morty, then you better respect Futurama, because no Rick and Morty without Futurama. But I digress. We're in the battle. High Elves or Vampire Counts, my friend. I mean, Dark Elves are Vampire Counts.
I'm on the vampire side, so.
All right. Oh, you just want it because there's 2 Vargulfs. I see where you're at. But anyways, go ahead. Take it away.
I want my bad doggos. So we have 5 zombies. As we'll start with the infantry corps as always. We have 5 zombies. We have... interesting. There is 1 Graveguard with great weapons. 1 Graveguard of the standard variant. And we have, looks like, 3 Skeleton Warriors. Now, for the Cav, we have a single Blood Knight. Also, we have 2 Fellbats in the air. Now, for the monsters and leadership, we have 2 of the Bat Doggos, the Vargulfs, beautiful units that they are. We have 1 Corpse Cart of Balefire. Now, we have 2 White Kings on foot. I've seen these becoming more and more popular, the White Kings on foot.
Yeah, especially with their breath attack, if they have them on. Oh, no, these 2 don't. Oh. Never mind.
Just naked. They're cheap. They have anti-infantry on foot. So, yeah, they should be able to really support this cheap chaff here. Now for the Lord, we have a... Yep, Nekark, Vampire Lord. I believe this is Crusader's go-to for the vampires. He has Dark Protection, low buff, Arcane Conduit, Raised Dead, Nahek, Purple Sun, Spirit Leech, Wild Heart, Life Leeching, and that's it. And of course the Curse of Undeath. And yeah, quite an interesting army we have here. It's spread out very wide. Skeletons way out on the flanks. Be interesting how this army deals with what the Dark Elves have brought. And what have they brought for us, my son?
Well, the Dark Elves have gone with a very small build, very reminiscent of Riggsen versus Arkhan the Black battles, if we can recall from tournaments long past. But it's going to have 3 units of Blackguard and Aggron, 2 Dread Spears. It's going to have the Blades of the Blood Queen up front. These guys with their Guardian trait are very, very powerful, can pretty much 1v1 any infantry in the game, except for like maybe the Crimson Kills would waste them or something. But we have 2 Black Arc Corsairs with handbows behind them, as well as a single unit of Shades for that armor-piercing damage. Now, aside from that, we're going to have 2 heroes in our hero squad, 2 K-Knight Assassins. Both of them are going to be bringing... Oh, wait. Sorry. Looks like both of them will have the Web of Shadows on top of them and nothing else. And then for Marathi is our leader here. She will have Wand of Caridin for that Bound Doom Bolt with 2 casts. She has Soul Stealer, Power of Darkness, as well as Heartrender the Dark Sword, Enchanting Beauty, and Greater Arcane Conduit. So she's going to have a lot of debuffs here with Enchanting Beauty and Heartrender and the Dark Sword. So I really like Marathi here on foot. Very powerful choice against vampire counts, as we've seen in tournaments before. But looks like they're both trying to take the hill. Vargulfs are going to get there first and be like, nah, we should probably not, like, chill in here. Or no, there they go, getting a charge on top of the Blades of the Blood Queen really quick. But they're going to pull out before take too much damage, I'd hope. But oh,
like
Purple Sun!
Oh, there we go. Looks like Tlax is going to respond to it.
Oh, the Shades!
They just took massive damage. Oh my goodness,
my
look at that.
God.
That's a good 80% damage right there. Those Shades are...
Oh, Blades of the Blood Queen narrowly missing that. Man. Wow. Worth it?
No, that's serious damage on the skirmish potential of the Dark Elves, but still they have a good position here. They've got on top of the hill. They're forming up ranks. And besides that Purple Sun, there's not much to deal with this elite infantry. I mean, there are the Vargulfs, but we've seen Vargulfs get poked down by K-Knight Assassins and Black Arc Corsairs before, so...
Definitely have, but I mean, Crusader's doing a very good job dodging it, and right now Fellbats are coming in to chase off the Shades. Very good opportunity seized by Crusader there, taking care of those Shades from Soothsayer.
Yeah, indeed.
But Blades of the Blood Queen making quick work. These zombies are already going to be dead. And, you know, I would like to see the vampire counts time that very well in terms of getting the infantry there at the same time, but Necroc Ward taking quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think it would have been better to pull back these zombies if they could, and I mean, obviously they're not going to be able to contest this position on the hill since all their infantry is so slow. Yeah, hold the zombies back and allow, you know, them to work in unison with the skeletons, with the Grave Guard, but yeah.
I mean, I think the main thing he's going to have to watch out here is going to be those Purple Suns, but the thing is, the Necroc Vampire Lord, every time he casts a Purple Sun, it ain't cheap, and that's going to be healing he's losing in the late game, so here's see what happens. Look, oh man.
Vampire Lord half health already.
Like, he's making them waste some ammo, but he's definitely taking a lot of damage in return.
Yeah, looks like, Tlax is being smart. I'm not sure if he has Fire at Will on or not. Looks like he's turned up, and what is that, Soul Stealer? Yep, Soul Stealer going down.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, that seems a little early, but more damage on this Lord and more pressure on the opponent, I suppose. But I would have liked to see, you know, on a blob with some Blood Knights and some Vargulfs.
I couldn't agree more.
And the wand.
Wow, look at this. The Corpse Balefire, the Corpse Cart with the Balefire needs to get out of there. It's not fast enough to dodge these missiles.
Indeed, and well, the K-Knights Assassins look like they are a bit compromised. Oh, are these Blood Knights? Oh, never mind. Looks like these Blood Knights are just going to charge into Ray Spears.
Yeah, it does indeed. And Marathi's going to go in there to help out those spears, and she'll be able to kill some models, I imagine. But look, Necroc Vampire Lord keeps coming back. I mean, I guess it's a good way to draw that fire out because he's trying to keep the Vargulfs healthy, it looks like. Fire Joha, thank you for the follow. But yeah, I'm guessing he's just trying to bait out fire so the Vargulfs don't take it. Is that what you think is going on here? Or, I mean, just can't seem to make sense of it.
Yeah, I think it's a combination. I think he's trying to get in close, drop a summon. Tlax is being very, smart.
Oh yeah, that's
keeping
a
him
good
at
point.
bay with all these archers, so he can't get in, he can't drop a summon, he can't compromise the Black Arcs, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to compromise his Black Arcs and then run the Vargulfs in and just cause a ruckus.
Yep.
But with these Black Arcs, able to shoot, yeah, these Vargulfs are just kept at a distance, and I mean, this is huge. As every moment these Vargulfs aren't attacking, vampire units are dying because they have no support.
Yes.
And as the chaff dies, the big units won't have enough. They won't be able to get the work done in the late game.
No, you're absolutely right. And I mean, the Corpse Cart Balefire. Wait a minute. Because it doesn't heal, right? Yeah, it gives the buff to melee defense and attack. Tohu Gonzero, thank you so much for the follow, my friend.
Yeah,
But-
which is odd that you see.
Yeah, I usually see the Unholy Lodestone, right? But here
Yeah,
comes the
absolutely.
White Kings trying to chase down Marathi, and they would make quick work of her, I imagine. But
just a bit too slow.
yeah, just a bit
Yeah.
too slow, especially, Blaze the Blood Queen and everybody over here.
Now these Vargulfs are going for it. They're tired of this. The bats have been gone right in for essentially a suicide mission.
Yeah.
Just to be a sacrificial lamb so these Vargulfs can get some work done. But yeah, they're doing pretty well. Look at that. Vargulfs haven't taken much damage.
Yeah,
This
Canine
is where you really want
Assassins
that Soul Stealer.
are crushing the White King, though. Assassin Trophy, and one of the White Kings is
Holy
below half
crap.
health. But Invocation and a Heck going down now. And that...
Not just that, a Soul Stealer.
Oh, a Soul
Big Soul
Stealer,
Stealer.
too. It got so many units in that Soul Stealer.
Yeah, it's massive.
Oh,
Both,
boy.
Both White Kings, both Vargulfs.
Yeah.
And looks like, yeah, even the Corpse Cart, that was beautiful.
It absolutely was. And, oh, man, Marathi and her Canine Assassin getting knocked off the hill.
This could be a quick turn of events. This is...
That
Yeah,
is
where Marathi wants to
such a big win for the vampire counts. Oh my god. Could this change the battle entirely? Emerging Yeti, thank you for the follow. Yeah, this is...
Yeah.
Oh my god. Marathi is so out of position. She's getting a Spirit Leech. And these... Oh my god, look at her. She's just getting manhandled, Vargulf handled, whatever it is, bat handled.
Yeah, this could change everything. Now looks like these units are on a mission here, the Black Arcs and the Black Guard. But
Yes, they are.
Marathi is in a bad way. I mean, she could rout at any moment here.
You're absolutely right. A route at any moment. She needs to get the Blades of the Blood Queen in here to protect her. There goes Terror. If she can get a Spirit Leech, then that's the only way she'll be saved. But she has 1 health point left. She's dead.
Wow.
Marathi is dead. And that
It's
could...
still
Oh, wow. It's still in favor of the Dark Elves, but...
Yeah. But yeah, Blood Knights, Vargulf's still alive. Though they do still have leadership. We saw a game like this earlier, where
Yes.
the stalwart elite elf infantry was able to hold off the chaff and the mobility. But
Oh, no. The Canine Assassins are now getting singled out. That was such a devastating charge that knocked her off of the hill and could spell defeat for the rest of this army. I mean, he still has some healthy Blackguard and Aggron, Blades of the Blood Queen, but
Yeah.
the mobility's completely out of his hands now, and he has no ranged.
and the power bar is shifting ever more against him. The vampires with these heals and all this damage done to their dark elf heroes, they're really taking a commanding position in this battle.
Well, you see, that's why I love this game, is something like that completely changes the outcome of this battle. I mean, that one charge knocking Marathi off of the hill really changed the swing of this battle, and what I thought was very much going heavily in favor of the
this
Dark
huge downhill
Elves.
charge.
Yeah.
Oh
Damn.
my goodness.
Downhill charge, just devastating.
Yeah, and all these Dark Elf units are starting to slip towards 50% health and then danger of terror routes. Well, of course, not for the Black Guard, but any of the other units.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still 50-50 though, so
You know, I
Never
mean,
know.
Blades of the Blood Queen are going to be able to kill the White King off very efficiently. White King just isn't going to have fun in a mosh pit with them. K-Knight Assassin's still healthy, and the Blackguard or Nagron, there's still 3 of them. And I don't know if these Vargulfs can kill them. But the terror is real,
yeah,
but the
there are
Vampire
still
Lord,
Blood Knights though.
they're still the Blood Knights. But even they won't have a
Look at this
great
big
time.
charge as well.
Oh!
Right into the
Boom! Blades of the Blood
Massive
Queen
charge.
taking so much damage on that charge.
Yeah, that was huge.
I mean, what's going to happen here? The Vampire Lord has hit his healing cap almost. Vargulfs are approaching their healing caps. And the Blades of the Blood Queen and the Blackguard or Nagron are just really not susceptible to terror routing.
Yeah, wow, what a battle. It's still very close according to the power bar, but with the healing and the probably a couple more zombie summons as well.
Yeah, I mean, what I would do right now if I was Soothsayer is, turn a couple of these Blackguard facing outwards, leave the Blades of the Blood Queen in here killing the White King.
Yep.
But look, that's what he did. He's bracing. Oh, man. Soothsayer showing why you can't quite discount him yet. Let's see what he gets going here. Vargulf's just not going to enjoy this combat.
Yeah, they're being left in there a bit too long, but yeah.
Oh, there's the Purple Sun. And that will be the GG. I think he's going to try to finish this off with a Purple Sun. What a beautiful play.
Yeah, that's the chain route's about to hit, and yeah,
wow,
beautiful game. Ended by Purple Sun. That's an epic way to go, and yeah, GG's to both. It was quite an ebb and flow, and then yeah, like you said, it was just that one beautiful charge, or a lucky charge even.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing. It's I can't remember who said it, but it was always in the Rome loading screens. It's a foolish general who doesn't place value on luck, or doesn't save room for luck in a battle, and that's what it was. That was a really lucky charge. I'm sure there was part of Crusader that knew he was going for that, because I mean, if you get that huge charge animation on top of a hill, that model will fly a really long way because he's going off of a hill, and that was just really what turned the battle. And those Purple Suns, the first one took out the Shades, and the second one sealed the fate of the rest of the infantry. So absolutely excellent gameplay from both players, but Crusader going to defeat Tlaxtlan Soothsayer 2-0.
Yeah, Tlaxtlan Soothsayer, the current ever chosen, and
yeah. Tomb Kings or Empire, my friend?
I'd probably rather go with this Empire build.
All right, let's take a look at this Empire build, sir.
And like we said, the strengths of the Empire: guns and chaff. Well, a couple things other top factions do not have. And we're going to see it all in this army here. For the infantry, as we always start, we'll go, we have 5 spearmen. Actually, let's see, check that, only 4 spears. But now we have 3 swords, one of them being the Ardoar, Sigmar's Sons. Now we have just 2 flagellants, 2 halberds. Now for the range contingent, we have 4 handgunners. And yeah, that's it for range. I thought we had some free company, but looks like he chose against it. And yeah, 2 Empire Knights for the Cav. For the leadership, we have 2 Witch Hunters, both with accusation. And for the Lord, we have Balthasar Gelt in the air on his peg. And yeah, just Final Trans, Staff of Ballins, Arcane Conduit, Plague of Rust, and Metal Shifting for that passive armor boost when he's casting. And yeah, I do really like this army.
Yeah.
Very wide, a lot of guns. But yeah, we'll see what Migsaa brought to deal with it. He's often a master of chariots, and it'll be difficult for all this infantry to deal with, even with these guns. And yeah, what has the Tomb King brought for us?
Well, chariots, of course. Migsaa is known for his chariot gameplay. He's rather infamous for it, actually. So looking at the main forces here, the infantry will consist of 5 skeleton spearmen. Not a lot of infantry. It looks like he will have 4 Nehekar horsemen. I'm actually going to go up in the strategic view here. Makes it easier, actually. So he's going to have 2 skeleton horse archers. He's then going to have 3 units of Nehekar horsemen, 2 Ushabti with great bows, 1 in the main force here, the other hidden over here with the 2 Nehekar horsemen. I like that deployment a lot on his left flank. He's going to have a unit of carrying up in the air, and then aside from that, he's going to have the fun units back here, which are going to be some chariots. So we got skeleton chariots here over in the forest, and then to round out this force, we have it being led by the one, the only Setch the Imperishable on his War Sphinx. He's going to have Blade of Tra, Wrath of Shra, Sacket's Incantation of the Skull Torm, as well as Unyielding Will and the Restless Dead, of course. Now here we go. The battle is going to begin. And Balthasar Gelt is going to come out here for some scouting with his Empire Knights and see that there's some skeleton horse archers here doing a little cheeky maneuvering, trying to stay hidden and scout ahead. Over here, the main force of the Empire is going to be pushing out, and looking at the deployment, going to see a pincer movement from the Tomb Kings. I mean, how are your thoughts here on this initial build versus build? What are your impressions, Romulan?
Well, the way Migsaa can play this definitely has a slight advantage in the opening game. He's too bow shopty. Should be able to really put a hurt on some of these guns. And if he can bring these guns down, I mean, these witch hunters could be very dangerous for Cetra. Double accusation, final trans. That could quickly shift the game. But yeah, these bow shopty can be able to kite this Empire army all the way around the map.
Yeah.
Use all their ammo, delete the flagellants, shoot the guns. Once they're compromised, he should be in a great position, but he's moving forward with the skeleton spearmen. I don't like this. I think this is too premature. He can't run away forever, but I don't think he should take this engagement right away.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, skeleton spearmen are not going to have a good time against flagellants, first of all. And
yeah.
Other than that, it kind of feels a bit premature in terms of, like, the rest of the army doesn't feel like it's quite in position yet to help out the way they'll need to.
But these chariots are plowing in.
Yes, they are.
Oh my goodness, yeah, they're going to just tear apart these flagellants. Oh, look, this is a beautiful little rear charge.
Rear charge, wow. That's what you call micro.
Oh, and the other horseman is getting on the guns. Another beautiful play. If he keeps pulling through with these chariots, with the horsemen, then follows up here, he could just steamroll over this. There we go, first Realm of Souls is popped.
Indeed. We will see the Empire Knights being pulled forward, and their mass is going to slow down those Nehekar horsemen and chariots, so good use there. And the handguns have taken care of a lot of this other unit of Nehekar horsemen already, so...
Well, it looks like we have a vortex.
Ooh,
we have a vortex going
who's
down.
it coming?
A sandstorm. It's on the Empire Knights.
Oh!
It's tearing them apart.
It's doing some good damage there. Soulstorm. Very good anti-cav vortex spell. And skeleton chariots, though, are getting knocked down by these Empire Knights. And I have to say, Crusader's doing a good job protecting those two handguns on his left flank.
We'll see, though. These skeleton horse archers are coming around that left flank, and looks like they're going into melee straight into those gunners who thought they were retreating to safe ground. It's not safe anywhere.
No, it is not. Here they come out of the forest as the second Realm of Souls pops. And look at that. A rear charge into them. Handgunners are going to continue firing. It looks like this time at Cetra, but yeah, those skeleton horse archers are going to do a lot of work if this infantry can't get them off in time.
Oh, and Cetra is on Balthasar Gelt. He's putting a whooping on poor little Gelty, although Gelt is supported by the two witch hunters, they need to be compromised by these horsemen.
Absolutely.
But there we go. Gelt got back in the air, safe and sound.
Yeah, and it actually looks like the Empire is able to defend the handgunners from those skeleton horse archers, but now Nehekar horsemen hitting them from the other end.
Yeah, they're going right after it. Still some spears on the flanks. They need to get into this combat.
Absolutely. I mean, there goes Cetra diving in, doing a lot of damage against these spears. But it looks like the Empire Knights are actually trying to get on top of them, maybe hold them in place a little bit, so the spears and halberds can get some work done on them. But are there any range units left for the Empire that aren't compromised?
It doesn't look like, well, whatever's left is very tattered. There's one unit of handguns in reasonable health, about 3/4 health. The rest are compromised and routing off the field. Oh, yeah. Never mind. There's one actually coming back. Well, look at this. Two guns in a bit of a nice crossfire here.
Oh, yeah.
And an accusation going down, etc.
Exactly. Oh, man. Both of the witch hunters in range. Two handgunners on either side. Wow, yeah. Cetra could be in trouble here, especially if a final trans goes down on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Empire's just looking like they're winning this with the numbers, you know. Bo Shopti are just not getting enough damage done. I don't even think they've really had anybody try to tie him down until now, and they still just haven't gotten enough damage in.
Yeah, and Cetra, another accusation going down. It's in this dangerous crossfire. Tons of anti-large around him. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Tomb Kings. There you go. Final trans. Could be game.
Yeah. think without the fine, yeah. Oh man,
It's
Cetra.
upgraded, yeah.
Cetra is going to perish here. And a very, very good game to the Empire. I don't see how he can come back from this.
Yeah, Cetra's too low, and he's not going to be able to escape these Switch Hunters here. Look at Gelt. Gelt has charged down to fight Cetra at 1v1.
Oh, mistake, Gelt. Mistake.
Yeah, maybe he's getting a whooping put on him, though. He might be able to escape, though.
Oh, Gelt.
Oh no, Gelt's terror routed.
He is indeed. Oh
Looks
my
like it'll
goodness.
be an even trade, though.
Yeah, more than likely. And looking across the field, though, the writing's on the wall. The Empire is gathering itself together. Unbreakable units getting on top of the Ushabti with great bows. Cetra won't be able to survive these Witch Hunters. One more accusation and he's dead. He only has 350 hit points left.
And there it goes. Another accusation, and
There goes Cetra the Imperishable.
I think he's resisting it.
Oh,
No, there he goes. He was stuck at 86 HP for a few moments there, but alas, Cetra did finally perish.
Indeed.
Yeah, no, as we look back at this game, I do feel that engagement was far too premature for the Tomb Kings. They had, you know, the range advantage. They could have, you know, just kited out that Empire army, got a lot more work done with their Boshafti, and
Absolutely.
Boshafti was doing some pretty good work. They got some nice flank shots on the handgunners, but then they just got a bit over anxious, dove right in there. And it may have still been all right, but all these Arkhan horsemen and the chariots, they had good initial shock getting in there, disrupting the back line, but they overstayed their welcome, and they got dragged down by spears.
Absolutely.
Just need to pull out a bit sooner.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right, and your initial comment there just hits the nail on the head. Like, we've seen a couple times in this tournament, and it's a very consistent theme in tournaments that I want to try to get across to newer players who may be watching too. It's just like, it's very important that you time your engagements so they happen in a way that complements one another. And that's just because if you push everything on one side at once, your opponent only needs to focus on addressing the concern from one side. I know that was a really stupid explanation, but he had two Boshafti that outranged everything the Empire had. He had two skeleton horse archers that could really get some good damage down for free on top of the flagellants and even the handgunners over time. And I think he really needed to utilize those chariots more, keep the infantry safe and back further, and like you say, just kite for a while. It's not the most fun thing to watch sometimes, but it's definitely the best thing to do. If you have outranged everything your opponent has, then why would you give that card up, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
All
absolutely.
at hand, also V-Claw. My tournaments now I'm trying to keep them under 4 hours moving forward, except for finals like this. But in any case, greenskins. We got 4 Gobos. We got ourselves 2 Orc Airboys. We got ourselves 2 Black Orcs. And then we're also going to have... Oh, make that 3 Black Orcs. Damn. We got a Dune Diver Catapult, which I love. Aside from that, we're also going to have a Goblin Wolf Chariot, which I really love. 2 Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers. And then, I think, just to round out the force... Yeah, that's going to be it. So for the leadership squad, we are going to have a Goblin Big Boss. And this Goblin Big Boss will probably be naked. We got Azag the Slaughter with Wasp Spirit Leech, as well as the Spider Banner to get that poison damage. Very good stuff when he's on foot. And then we have the Night Goblin Shaman. So same armor we saw Migsaa bring earlier against Bretonnia, and we'll see if it works out as well for him this time. And this time, still Vindictive Glare. Now, what about Bretonnia? What has Crusader brought for us?
Bretonnia has brought a very big force, and of course they've gone with the elites of the elite, the peasant mob.
Oh.
And he's gone with the max number, 5 peasant mob, backed up by a Grail Relic, which I think is very important here to really maximize all this chaff. Now, backing up these peasants even more, we have 2 men-at-arms and 3 foot squires. Now for the cav, we have 2 Knights of the Realm on the left flank of Bretonnia, and we have 2 Grail Knights on the right flank. Interesting that these units are divided up. And yeah, we have 3 mounted yeomen. the Archer variant, and we have the Fey Enchantress. As well as a Damsel of Beast. The Damsel of Beast just with Scroll of Shielding, Power Stone, and Transformation of Kadan with Wild Heart. It's getting those Manticore summons off, as the Fey has all the standard stuff. Chalice of Potions, Favor of the Fey, Arcane Conduit, Earthblood, Mist of the Lady, Life Bloom, and Blessing of the Lady. Well, Blessing of the Lady she always had, but yeah, a very wide Bretonnian army here. And it's interesting, besides the Manticore, no Terror. And yeah, we'll see if these Ground Knights can bring down that spider with the help of that Manticore, but it looks like a tall task. Looks like a lot to do.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
But
I mean,
we'll see.
Both of these guys, incredible players, so, you know, this game is full of surprises, guys. We just saw Marathi get knocked off of a hill and killed after she was whooping for most of the battle, so who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, indeed, and
one thing I'm wondering, and give me your thoughts here, how do you feel about the deployment of the Doomdiver catapult with so much forest in front of it?
it's going to work out both ways.
It'll slow down the
Initially,
cav,
it was
but...
meant to block the, well, it'll also block any incoming archer fire in case there are, a bunch of peasant bows marching up to snipe it, but it's only the mounted yeomen, so I'm not sure how well it will do. It's interesting that their entire rear flank is out of the forest while their front is in the forest. So,
yeah,
it's an interesting position. I'm not sure I completely agree with it. I think you might want to just go in the forest if you're going to go halfway.
Well, regardless, both players are going to be trading a lot of skirmish fire here in the early stages of the battle. And I'd say these two factions, in terms of mobile skirmishing, trade pretty evenly. Mounted yeomen are just really cost effective, but, Forest Goblin Spider Riders with their poison and everything. Oh, look at that! But it got hit into a tree!
Oh, yeah. Looks
I don't
like,
know if that was
going
intentional or not,
damsel.
but the damsel hid behind that tree expertly.
And that's the give or take of this position. They will slow down the cav, blocks the missile fire, but in turn, all the missiles from the Greenskins getting blocked as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, and think of how much damage. That damsel may have been dead after that, hurt very badly enough to be routed by something else. So, it's definitely a big trade, and I think we're seeing how it could bite him in the ass. But look at this. Doomdiver Catapult is now going to focus on the Knights of the Realm in the forest.
Yeah, interesting choice.
You see, it's very hard for me to resist the temptation just to only cast, I just want to watch every single Doomdiver Catapult launch and land. But then I would miss most of the battle, but fuck it, I'm doing it again. Where are you going, buddy?
There's not too much action going down. I think we'd rather just see this little goblin flying.
Oh no, he hit a tree before he hit the...
Oh, it's a shame.
It's a shame.
That poor goblin.
Do you remember that one goblin we found who... Oh, he hit the tree too!
Yeah, the goblin with the magic attack.
Yeah, the magical
the
levitation.
Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Direct hit! Oh, goblins are too fun. But yeah, I mean, Bretonnia is closing the jaws of its trap, going far and wide. I like the patient approach from Crusader, taking his time surrounding the Greenskin army, but I have to say, these Black Orcs in the forest are going to be really tough to crack, especially with the Arachnarok Queen. Yeah, it's going to be tough. And Azag with the Goblin Big Boss is also going to be very efficient at killing the Fey Enchantress if she gets in too close, because she's going to want that Mist of the Lady pop to get that damage over time on the Black Orcs, but that's when
we
the
have
Gobbo...
cav charging coming.
Ooh!
Knights of the Realm on the right flank.
Here we go, diving in right here. Peasants following it up.
Going right into the goblins as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Blorks are came into support against the other Knights of the Realm.
Mm-hmm.
While the other Blorks look like they'll be a bit late for the party.
But look at this
nice,
micro. Oh, that Men-at-Arms slipping in.
By the, Oh, but they're caught by the spider. I think they'll rout before they meet their mission's end.
And Chalice of Potions going down on these Black Orcs. This could be big, but it looks like the Black Orcs see it, and they're going to dodge it. Very...
Another beautiful dodge of the Chalice by Riggsen.
Yeah. Now, Migsaa is going to be routing off everybody who hit him on that right flank, except for the Knights, fortunately for Bretonnia, but they still took some damage in there. Meanwhile, though, Bretonnia is pushing hard on their right flank. But Law being popped.
Yeah, it's going to help these goblins stabilize here. And they have backup from the Black Orcs, so they're just chewing through everything.
Yeah.
So, seems like that wall was a little oddly timed.
It was a bit wonky, I think.
Yeah. Seems like 30 seconds or a minute prior would have been better.
Yeah. But as long as Azag stays in combat, he'll have another one charged up in no time.
Oh,
but,
look, I think Azag's going for
gonna,
the Grail really weak.
Yeah, it looks like he is.
But the Grail
not going to be able to get on top of it in time.
Yeah. This is a smart play.
Lots of skirmish trading. In terms of the melee combat, I mean, the Black Orcs are still healthy, so to me that means the Greenskins are still on top for the infantry combat. But I have to say, Knights of the Realm keep on trying to charge in, but Goblins and Black Orcs are doing really good work.
Yeah, gained nothing. They just hit those Black Orcs. They just hit a wall, and my goodness, they're just getting torn down.
Yeah. They just don't like to be in combat with those Black Orcs. And also the Doom Diver Catapult continuing to fly in there. And it's getting some mean damage on those shots. I love how accurate that catapult is.
Oh, look, I think they spun around and, they're going after the Goblins. Yeah, it's a good charge.
Yeah, very good rear charge. Those foot
They're
squires.
just eating fire the whole time they do so.
I mean, it looks like the Arachnarok Queen and Azag are chasing down Fae Enchantress's party with some Black Orcs and the Goblin Wolf Chariots, and it just seems like Bretonnia's having a hard time making any dents in this Greenskin army.
Yeah, it's just wherever they try to attack, they're getting dragged down and punished. We have some Spider Hatchlings holding down these Knights of the Realm. These other ones stayed in combat too long and they're getting torn up. The Grail Knights are still in good health, but you know, there's still plenty of Black Orcs. 2 Black Orcs at about nearly full health. Spider Queen at full health. And this is not really where you want to be as Bretonnia. Fighting Black Orcs, your chaff is dead, and your cab is compromised. Well, I mean, still Grail Knights, but Knights of the Realm are gone.
And not only that, it's in the forest too, which is just such a big problem for Bretonnia right now. Like, their cavalry is so debuffed by being in the forest here, especially when you're fighting Black Orcs. It's just, Bretonnia really has a lot of unfavorable engagements, not only in terms of unit composition, but you just sprinkle the fact that pretty much all of this is happening in forest, and it just makes it a real tough matchup for Bretonnia right now.
Absolutely, and then the Spirit Leech from Azag and the Doom Diver. And, yeah, these Grail Knights are quickly approaching about half health, and looks like the other Grail Knights are getting worn down as well. Yeah, this is quickly turning into a Greenskin game, and the chain route could be quite close.
Yeah, I mean, and right there we just saw the Grail get shot down, but we do see a Manticore summon, but not really doing too much to even the balance of power.
I want to say this is the first Manticore summoned as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Odd. Yeah.
I think most of it has been used on the heels so far.
Indeed, and they're going right after Azag, but Azag is tanky.
Yeah, no,
it's so easy to snipe.
Melee defense at 36. You got that poison to debuff people in combat. So, and Spider Hatchling's coming in to help him out too. I like that.
One thing is,
go ahead.
The Black Orcs are very spread out here. You know, the 2 healthy Black Orcs are way out on the flanks.
Yeah.
Not near the center where they need to be, but big Wah coming in.
Big Wah indeed.
I don't know what the Spider Queen's doing right now, my son, though. I mean, he's trying to kill the caster, but he needs to go save Azag.
Yeah, it really needs to go save Azag. How did that spell go off? The Feral Manticore was summoned, but the damsel looked like she was routing already. That's crazy. But now look at this. Is Azag going to die?
Yeah, it's pulling a balance bar right back to the middle. And
oh my god, there goes Azag.
And 1 Black Orc just got routed. 1 is still at full health, and 1 is just barely holding on, but my goodness.
My goodness indeed. Can you believe this madness? Azag was in such a dominant position, and now look at him. He's going to get singled out by the Manticore. Somebody needs to save him. If Greenskins lose him to death, that's going to be a huge dent in their leadership. And oh no.
Yeah.
We may see Azag go down here, chat. And just like that, this battle is turning around. Look at the Bretonnians regrouping. This is really close.
Yeah, and that's the only way Bretonnia can really kill the Spider Queen is loss of leadership, just routing it off the field. But, you know, the Orcs are still in the forest. They still have the Spider Queen at about, 80% full health. Bretonnia doesn't have much ammo. I think we're going to see another grind fest here.
Yeah, no Flock of Dooms, no more Manticore summons. And, yeah.
Unless there's the big Chalice of Potions.
That's very true. Chalice Potions could be a game changer right now. Balance of power is in favor of Bretonnia now. And
the Arachnarok Queen is really getting worn down.
Yeah, she is. And look at this. The Fey Enchantress coming in for the rear charge with the Grell Knights may prove to be just enough to rout her off. And I cannot believe this.
And now the Chalice of Potions.
Yeah. I think
this is a good one. This could change.
Bretonnia's got this.
Yeah, it looks like, Spider is about to rout. Huge turnaround.
What a turnaround indeed, Crusader. You dirty, dirty man.
But, yeah, GG. Wow.
That was,
Yeah, the Greenskins were in a very commanding position, but I think the big mistake is, they just lost the...
Well, he moved the Queen away from Azag.
Yeah, the Queen was away from Azag as well. 2 Black Orcs were way out on the flanks. The Blue Orcs were way out not where they needed to be. And the Queen was not protecting old Azag. And if they just stayed together, essentially, they really could have just almost blobbed and just watch out for chalices, and they could have just ground through the rest of the Bretonnians, but yeah. Yeah, great turnaround.
Great turnaround.
Another example of how, small mistake can lead to victory or defeat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a battle this has been. Lice, thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, that Queen's just going to go down to the surround, I imagine. And come on, Queen. Give us some attack.
This has to be, it has to be kind of tough too, because it was quite a commanding position for the Orcs not long ago.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, oh, yeah. That's a rough loss, I'm sure. And now Migsaa has to come back from a 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It certainly changed the complexity of the series, but yeah, just a great turnaround there.
An excellent turnaround for sure. Like that was.
Bretonnia saw its opportunity and just jumped on it.
Absolutely.
No
I mean,
pun intended.
Another reason I love this game so damn much. It's things can turn around just like that. Another game that I think most people were convinced the Black Orcs had 200 kills apiece almost for those two, and almost 100 for the others. But damn, Azag being left alone right after he killed the Grell Elite too. I'm sure Migsaa was feeling really confident, riding high there, getting a lot of valuable damage done. But having the Queen so far away from him, I think, lost him the game. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just see how these two players play it, because ultimately the one thing that a faction matchup will always be dependent on is player skill. So,
yeah, indeed.
You want the B Coast or the High Elves, friend?
I'm on the High Elf side, so why not?
All right, take it away.
I'll stay with the high ground. And so for the High Elves, we have the standard 5 Spearmen. As well, we have 5 Lothran Sea Guard, 2 Archers, 2 Phoenix Guard, and now for the leadership. We have a Mage of Light, Dead of Amantok, Shem's Burning Gaze, I believe that's Exorcism, and the Book of Hoeth. And everyone's favorite High Elf Lord, rarely seen, always lurking in the shadows, Alith Anah. And what does he have? Looks like he has the Moonbow, misleading how useless it may be, and Darken the Skies. So let's see if he, with Darken the Skies, maybe he'll be able to really put down some suppressing fire with all these archers. But let's see. Alith Anah is, rarely seen.
Rarely seen indeed.
And what is so what have the pirates brought for us, my son?
Well, the pirates are going to be bringing a rather wide army. So, starting with the infantry, it does look like we will have your standard polearms, zombie pirate deckhand with polearms. It looks like there's going to be 3 of those. Aside from that, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 zombie gunnery mob. Make that 5 zombie pirate gunnery mob. We're also going to have a couple of scurvy dogs on the right flank, and 1 on the left flank. And then he's going to have an ample number of Mongols. So 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Mongols. A very popular pick with that terror and the regeneration when they're in combat. A rather powerful unit now. For the leadership, if I can come and find it. Here we go. We're going to have Rotting Leviathan as a single entity monster here. And then we're going to have Count Noctilus, of course, with Captain Ross Moondial, Wraith Storm, Arcane Conduit, Invocation from the Heck, as well as the Drowned Dead. So, that rounds out both of the forces. Doesn't look like we've missed anything. And let's get to it. Whew. Initial impression, Romulan.
I think Migsaa brought a perfect army to deal with what Crusader has. And if Migsaa plays aggressively and utilize this well, maybe shutting down a flank, gets good charges with his dire wolves, doesn't leave him in combat too long, I think it's his game to lose.
Yeah.
I really think this is a perfect army to deal with all this, not to mention, I mean, all this range fire. Gonna have a tough time dealing with the Rotting Leviathan. Unless Lithanar can really get some good damage down on it, but the thing about a Lithanar is, he doesn't have a ton of ammunition. He only has like 30 shots. And it's quite a bit less, like, I think a Witch Hunter has like 42.
Yeah.
But
I also
I mean, he does a lot of damage.
Yeah, and I totally missed the extra 2 scurvy dogs that were Vanguard deployed way in the back too. So
Yeah,
there's actually 5 scurvy dogs on the map.
It'll be tricky because those scurvy dogs, you know, they're not large, but they won't do great against Lothran Seaguard. The Seaguard have pretty good stats, so he's going to need to use them in conjunction with those Mournguls. And if he can get some good terror routes, those dogs should just chase everything off the field, and it should be easy.
Yeah.
There's not much that's immune to Psych. There's nothing that's immune to Psych.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and not only that, it's like, as long as he can shut down the archers, then the Mournguls are safe and free to do whatever they want. But once again, Migsaa, I want to see him pushing his units up in better unison. Like, right now, his right flank is so far extended, and he's going to just lose all of these zombie pirate gunnery mob. And the problem is, they're not dying for anything. They're not buying time for other units to be closing the gap. They're just dying. And that's just free loss. Well, I guess not free loss. A free win for your opponent, you know, on those units. So it's just disappointing to see almost 900 points wiped off that early in this battle.
Although there is one thing they're doing. They're eating ammo. And
That's true.
That's drawing ammo away from the Mournguls. But, oh, these Mournguls, they're jumping out of the forest prematurely.
Diving
like
into
this.
spearmen. Oh, no.
Yeah, the Hounds are jumping on the Lothran Seaguard without support. Their only good target is the archers. Lothran Seaguard, they'll be able to fight them off.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know. Guess we will see. It does look like the Mournguls are starting to get into the cookie jar, perhaps.
Yeah, this
Net of a Mintok going down, though.
It's gonna be huge, and you ran right into the net.
Oh, no.
Right into the net. Oh my goodness. It's a really rough start.
It most certainly is. There goes the duplicate from Lithanar.
Oh, here we go. There's some wolves coming in back here. Trying to get into some of these archers, but one Mournguls down already.
One Mournguls down. Another one is in a very bad spot where it's fighting. And I don't know. Noctilus is going to be a very powerful lord in this matchup for sure. And look at this. Now the scurvy dogs are jumping in with the Rotting Leviathan. They're going to be able to rout those archers off. We got Mournguls diving in here. We got a summon coming down, and you know, this is where the Vampire Coast usually tends to shine. Is early game they get crushed a lot because they're slow, but once they get in there and they start getting their summons going, they can get into a nice rhythm.
Indeed, and they have a good push going on the right flank of the High Elves, and they just keep pushing that advantage, and then move over to this right flank and get rid of these 2 Lothran Seaguard out on the periphery.
Yeah.
It's just they might have too much for the High Elves to deal with here. The giant crab, the Mournguls, but a second Mournguls about to go down.
Yeah, I mean, unless he gets an invocation from the heck, there's a big blob here full of units that need it, and it looks like he's going for it. Is he going to get that invocation? That's a net. Damn. Okay, there goes the invocation of the heck. So will it be enough to save these Mongols? And I think it may just be enough. They're about to go back to 2,000 HP. The Zombie Pirate Decon mob moving in to chaff for them. And, yeah, I mean, this is a really close fight. The problem for the Vampire Coast is the archers are still on the peripheries getting some good crossfires into the Mongols, but they haven't done any damage to the Rotting Leviathan, and I don't know what's going to deal with the Rotting Leviathan in this mid to late game.
Yeah, absolutely, and as long as it doesn't just sit on the Phoenix Guard, which the Mongols were doing for a while, which looked like it was going to quickly just unravel from there, but they got away from the Phoenix Guard. They're going to clean up this whole right flank, and yeah, this giant crab can just run over all these Lothan Sea Guard as the Phoenix Guard frantically run after it, trying to bring it down. But it's no avail.
And look at the damage to Olitha Nar too, and there's no healing right now, so he's just got the Mage of Light, and the balance of power is going in favor of the Vampire Counts quite drastically as this battle wears on. And I have to say, although I was really doubting it, I almost feel like the Mongols here are kind of a distraction in Migsa's eyes. He's like, as long as they aren't shooting my Rotting Leviathan, then I'm okay, because my Rotting Leviathan, if there's no ammo at the end of this battle, will be able to take everything down. And it seems like even the Phoenix Guard just aren't going to be able to, you know, they can't pin it in place.
Yeah, that seems like a good assessment. Because, like you said, the most difficult thing will be this Rotting Leviathan. The only AP on the field is Olitha Nar, and he's about to get chased off by hounds. He's not routing yet, but soon he will be.
Yeah. A good net, though, going on the Rotting Leviathan, but Invocation net going down to counteract that, so...
Yeah, just, and look at that, the right flank completely cleaned up. These Mongols are healing back up to nearly full. One has 12 bottles, the other one, 10 and 5. Still 27 Mongols on the field. Oh, the Rotting Leviathan, though, that net held in the Phoenix Guard, and it took a lot of damage.
It did indeed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's on critical binding.
Ooh, Rotting Leviathan, what you gonna do? Gonna hit Olitha Nar, but it's getting shot in the back. Oh man, this is actually starting to get a little bit close here, but the Mongols are starting to come up from the rear. So even with the Rotting Leviathan perhaps getting knocked out right here in the fight, I think they'll be okay. Because how many health points? It's got still 1,700 health points right now. So.
And another in the heck, it could heal quite a bit still.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it looks like a net's going down on it. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of there. But it looks like a summon.
Yeah. No, it's a Race Storm.
Ooh.
Punish these Phoenix Guard for taking down the crab. So it's pretty...
Oh! And the crab does a huge charge animation running away from the clutches of the Phoenix Guard.
That's a beautiful little trick there. If you want to get out the net, you can still get your charge animation. You can't move, but you can get your charge.
And look, here come the Mongols now. Balance of power still in favor of the Vampire Coast. A decoy distracting the Rotting Leviathan for now, it would seem, but he needs to get that Rotting Leviathan.
Look at Count Noctilus, though. Noctilus was just chasing away the heroes.
Yeah, he was.
Out for blood, but now he's fighting Phoenix Guard, but I imagine he'll do quite well since he's Phoenix Guard at Lost Man. Yeah, Martial Prowess.
Yeah.
Oh, Martial Mastery, sorry.
But look at that monster crumbling. When is it going to stop crumbling? Critical binding, okay. But it's going towards Phoenix Guard. Only 798 health, but there goes another Invocation of the Heck, and the Rotting Leviathan will stay around another day. And it looks like Mix is pulling this one off. It's been a bit back and forth, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, yeah, it wasn't the smoothest or best initial engagement. A little sloppy, you know, engaging piecemeal at the beginning.
Yeah.
But was able to get a good right flank going and keep his Mongols alive. He's only lost one unit of Mongols, so that was huge.
Yeah, no, Terror definitely gonna win the day here.
Yeah, there we go. GG.
GG.
There will be no 3-0.
There will be no 3-0. Also, Xiphos and Soothsayer. Let me reschedule the third place battle for you because I'm hoping this goes on. You know, we have at least one more battle, possibly two, and it's already 2 o'clock my time, and it's my buddy's birthday today. But in any case, we've got a series indeed, Viking Cat, and let's see how this goes. And everybody, stop talking about the balance here. High Elves can definitely beat Vampire Coast. He just didn't have the tools he needed to counter this army. This army was just like Ramen said in the beginning. This army had everything it needed to take care of this army, and I think Crusader just there was a bit lacking in this build in terms of the mass to stop things. So he had the net of a Mintok, which I think is a very good call on his part. He recognized the lack of mass and the absolute necessity of netting things in place, which is how he was almost able to kill the Rotting Leviathan and kill a couple of these Morghuls. But yeah, I just, in the end, wasn't a huge fan of that build. But what do you think,
Maybe he was
Ron?
thinking about the Coast Army he faced previously. It was much more defensive.
That's true.
You know,
yeah.
it used the artillery to bring, you know, the elf towards him and just shot him to pieces. So maybe he thought, you know, a Lithanar, he could counter the artillery with a Lithanar, and just, in turn, shoot the opponent to pieces. But that's not what happened here. The opponent rushed at him, came at him with a very strong build, 4 Morghuls, Rotting Leviathan, an old Count Noctilus, and I don't think this was the build Crusader really expected, and yeah, it was definitely tough sledding from there on out.
Yeah. All right, bud. You want to take the Vampire Coast or the Empire?
Bran is the Night King. Spoiler.
He's the Bran the Builder, man. He built the wall.
What about Bran the Conqueror? He was a Stark.
He's Bran. He has tons of fiber. So, yeah, Empire Vampire
I'm
Coast.
Bran Stark. Start your morning with Bran Stark. Other Starks get killed quickly. Not Bran. He has the fiber to last to the 7th season. I guess we should get back to the subject at hand.
Pharaoh Vor, that bad pun was just for you. All right, so what did you say? Vampire Coast Empire?
What? I don't know. I could go with Coast since you want to go with the Empire Army, I believe.
You know me too well. All right.
Yeah, man.
But I'm a gentleman, so tell me about this Coast Army.
I will indeed. And first, let's give a shout out to Gobbo King. He is the 3-eyed raven. And I'd like to know what else, what other secrets you're keeping from us, Gobbo, because clearly you have the sight. Now,
I think we
is it
may
frozen?
have frozen, yeah.
My goodness, I think Gobbo King froze the game with his 3rd eye.
Damn it, Gobbo. In the meantime, let's take a look at these models. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love Tomb Kings a lot, but the Vampire Coast is a really awesome aesthetic. It definitely probably goes Tomb Kings, Vampire Coast, Vampire Counts in my preference of aesthetic.
Yeah, they are so cool, and their campaign's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. Although I started a Skarsnik campaign when I was a little inebriated last night late, and I might stream that campaign next after Noctilus, because Skarsnik's campaign is pretty fun. There's a ton of
Well,
Gobbos.
once the DLC drops, I don't think you'll last long on that one.
Yeah.
I think I know where your heart will go.
Oh, the Skaven.
Yeah, and let's the new
What's
mechanics
happening?
might be incredible. Might be super fun. At least from what I've seen in the patch notes, they look awesome.
I just
Yoke.
threw my fucking Blue Yeti onto my keyboard hard.
Oh, all the keyboards are breaking up in here. Hide your keyboard, hide your cooler, hide your water.
I'm gonna quit this battle. And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
probably won't let me. Ah, sweet, it did.
Oh, there we go.
Crusader Marathi bowling. Trollop bowling in your Marathi match. Alright. Jesus Christ. I didn't do it right. Oh, I'm so angry at how bad these battles have been crashing. So sorry. I also,
Yeah, it's been odd. Oh, wait, did you reopen the lobby?
yeah, I remade a lobby. Yeah.
Oh, wait a
Went to
moment to be sure.
lobby. Come on. Outdoor outskirts. Same armies. Go, go, go. That's like my StarCraft Marine voice. Go, go, go.
Go.
Larry L is the ideal woman. Change my mind. The Fae Enchantress is the ideal woman.
No, it's clearly Marathi. You're all wrong. Oh. Don't mind me. Where's the... There it is.
Swap sides! Quick! Do it, Migsaa! Migsaa, swap sides! Ah! I just don't...
Alas.
I'm lazy and I don't want to redo my scoreboard.
I guess you could message him.
I'm just gonna tell them.
Alright, well, before this battle starts, though, I'll be right back.
Alright, sounds good.
Step away for 20 seconds.
This game is the epitome of technical difficulty. Watching this makes me want to participate in a tournament all of a sudden. Hey, guys, I know this is a long one because it's a final. We're on our 5th hour now. Holy fuck, I lied. We're 6th hour. No. Oh. Yeah, but then technical difficulties asking. He hasn't made his name Pharaoh of War CC avoiding practice coward noob yet or anything. Wait a minute. Romulan, I need you.
Yeah, so what's going on here?
I just realized he declared coast, not Saratosa. Which technically it's you're supposed to declare the faction. They count as their main faction, but it's kind of like saying High Elves and then bringing Averlorn. It's a very different animal. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the ruling is on that. It's so I think you're supposed to declare. You know which one.
But then he can't bring the same army because he had Free Company militia. Damn, I'm in a pickle.
I guess you kind of have to just go with it since it's what they were loaded into the game with. So, otherwise, it's Crusader has to make a new army anyway, you know, and then it's just a complete mess basically. Migsaa says I don't think he.
He
doesn't think
did, though.
any
He had
Sartosa.
the
Yeah.
Saratosa militia.
Yeah, yeah. I saw 3 of them. Yeah, because, yeah. If he plays VP now, he'll have a chance to counterpick Migsaa, then Migsaa will have to change out the units, and it just delays this game even more, you know? I don't see it as a massive advantage necessarily, you know? Yeah, because it's what he had prior to the game, and you also know there's no Noctilus, which is kind of a big thing.
I think I'm going to give the advantage to Migsaa here, because I fucked up. So, should I just...
I don't know, I think we just gotta play.
Yeah, just play. You're right.
Because there's no... Either way, it'll distort things too much.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and do this. I messed up, chat, and my indecision has prolonged the tournament even longer. I apologize. But we'll get to it now. So moving forward, I will be much more vigilant on that, chat. My apologies, that is on me. He did say Coast. I should have asked him, like, okay, that means you're bringing Vampire Coast. Because, yeah, Vampire Coast is probably the worst faction in the game at that, where, like, their sub-factions have so many different units.
Yeah, and especially, like, if you pick Dwarves against the standard Vampire Coast, okay, but if then they switch to Sartosa, now it's a whole new animal. And
Exactly.
you have to deal with all this fast anti-infantry.
Yeah, so I really messed up there, and I have to say I'm going to have it on my conscience if Migsaa loses here because of it. But in any case...
I mean, really, we'd have to look back to the Soothsayer game. It, you know, I think Crusader just said Coast there. You know, he didn't specify Sartosa at all. And Sartosa has
Well, he actually brought Silostra's faction in that one, right? Because he had the 2 damned paladins.
No, against dwarfs, against Tlax's dwarfs.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Never mind.
He had the vampire.
Yeah, you're right.
Pistol.
You're right.
The fleet captain. Yeah.
In any case, yeah, that's my bad, but well.
But that did
whatever.
change the second game. You know? Well, it put more weight on the second game, but still.
Well, if Soothsayer and Migsaa want to talk to me afterwards, I will talk to them. I think we're cool. But in any case, how about you go over that Vampire Coast army?
Indeed. Be on the opposite side, but yeah.
No.
Let's see. Let's see. Yep. It's we'll go over the infantry. We have looks like 5 deckhand mobs, one of them being the Arwar, Tide of Scold. Then we have 4 pirate gunnery mob. Now we have 3 Sartosian militia. And and then the Black Spot.
Yeah.
The Arwar handgunners, and 1 unit of Death Guard. And that will round out the infantry. Now we also have 4 Morngulls, 1 deck dropper with handguns, and where is the Lord? Oh, there we are. With like yeah, it's a fleet captain, polearm, Lore of Vampires. Yep, standard stuff. We have Van Horst Speculum, Wand of Jet, Nahek, summon, curse of undeath, and yeah, all the standard stuff. And that rounds out the Vampire Coast Army. What has the Empire brought to deal with this?
Well, thank you very much, Migsaa. I mean, Romulan Dog. I apologize, chat, that I wasn't really going through the armies right there. I was updating the scoreboard. But in any
They're
case...
worse people to get mixed up with.
Yeah, but, right? In any case, we have the Empire here with 5 swordsmen up front. Aside from those 5 swordsmen, we are going to see a strong cavalry contingent consisting of 1 Empire Knight and 2 Reichsguard. It looks like we'll also have a 2nd Empire Knight back in the corner. We will then have a unit of Free Company militia, as well as the Hammer of the Witches here for our artillery. I love the Hammer of the Witches. It can be a very useful unit against the Vampire Coast indeed. Now, aside from these units for the Hero Ship Squad, we are going to see a Warrior Priest. The Warrior Priest will be down here on top of his horse, and he will be bringing the Banner of Eternal Flame, which is awesome for that fire damage being imbued on allies nearby, and the extra leadership from Benediction. He also has the Amber Wizard with Flock of Doom and Transformation of Kadan. And then up in the air, he's got Boris Todbringer with Foe Seeker, as well as Deadly Onslaught, as well as Middle Lane Runefling, Crush the Weak, and the White Cloak of Ulrich. So, how's the combat going so far, Romulan?
Well, we see the Cavs trying to get some quick charges off here into the Sartosian militia, but the Mongols are here to respond, and looks like the Cavs going to charge in and eat a big charge from the Mongols as well. That's a poor trade for the Empire Knights. They're just getting punished, and looks like the other one, yeah, might eat a few swings from the other Mongol.
It's true, but look here, Saratosa Militia did get a big charge from the Empire Knights, so...
Yeah, Migsaa is keeping his line static. He needs to shift his line. He doesn't want to get a single flank to be completely enveloped and crushed.
Absolutely, and needs to see Migsaa be a bit more cautious with these Knights. I don't like seeing him get shot out, but I mean, he's getting some good damage on those Free Company Militia. I will give him that. Boris coming down to help out these Reichsguarded swordsmen against the Mongols, and they did some really good damage there.
Yeah. Wow, this, all these Knights are taking way too much damage, though.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, these ones taking quite a bit. The Empire Knights down to 28 models. But, I mean, right now, he does have a swordsman out here, and although it sucks to see swordsmen die, it makes sense, you know. Hopefully he's targeting onto these Mongols that are bunched up on the swordsmen, and we'll get some really good damage from that artillery. But it actually looks like he's targeting the missile units, perhaps?
Yeah, oh no, he's switching over onto the Mongols now, but yeah, it just looks really tough for the Empire here. So many zombies, so many guns, and
yeah,
something Cav has taken some pretty good damage already.
It definitely has. I mean, if he can keep the Cav healthy, that's exactly what you need to kill a bunch of zombie chaff. But he needs to figure out what to do against these Mongols, because these Mongols are just not, as we've seen in so many battles before, are just so powerful with their terror, with their regeneration in combat. And right now, Boris is diving onto the Vampire Fleet Captain of Polearm, with the Polearm, into a bunch of missile fire and Mongols that are surrounding him.
My goodness, look at that. Just getting crushed, and this is going to be quite unfortunate. Boris is kind of the linchpin here. He's going to hold everything together. He's the hard hitter that might be able to claw the Empire back into this, but oh, look at that. Though he's going to be saved by his Cav, and he'll be able to regen that back up.
That's very true, and looks like the Cav actually is taking that advantage, an opportunity to dive into the missile units too in some key areas. We'll see if they're able to get any damage in, or...
Look at the Warrior Priest. He's buffing up all this Cav. He's giving them fire damage, which is really going to help against the Mongols here.
Absolutely.
And, although, boom, huge invocation back.
Very big invocation.
There we go. We have Feral Manticore summon, but not sure what it's going to do in this battle.
I mean, I guess it could go for the deck droppers up in the air. That might be what I would use it for at this point, to get rid of that Overwatch fire, but it's going in, double teaming the Lord. And the Empire's just committing towards killing this Vampire Fleet Captain. I mean, if he kills him, gamble pays off, but it's a big gamble right now.
Indeed.
But look at this, right? Empire Knights coming into the back lines, and these guys could get a huge charge and compromise a lot of the missile units for the Vampire Coast right now.
Yeah, look, the Mongol's getting worn down.
Mongols
Some of them
are.
are crumbling.
That artillery fire has just been consistent, ubiquitous throughout this whole battle. And Flock of Dooms, I'm still expecting to see some of them come in.
Another huge invocation of the heck going down, but oh, another big charge. The Mongols are surrounded. Although the cannonballs are still shooting into the this Mongol blob, it might kill a lot of the Empire Cav in return.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at Boris. Oh no. Oh, but the Mongols. Look at this. Boris is nearly routing. The Mongols are nearly crumbling.
Oh, is Boris going to die? Come
Anyone's
on.
game.
I think so. Well, wait. Is Boris going to get out of here? Here comes the wizard. It looks like he's trying to get a Flock of Doom going. Oh my goodness gracious. Free Company Militia here. Looks like another transformation to Kadan going down.
They need to ward off those bats. Otherwise, I mean, oh, look at that. Boris going right into it, going right after the bats. But he is dangerous. Oh,
he's dead.
He's shattered.
Come on, what's going to happen here? I mean, I want to see these Empire Knights get micro. They dove in here a while ago, and they've just been in combat ever since. And right now, it's just the firepower is clearly in favor of the Vampire Counts, but the balance of power is still even. And look, the Hammer of the Witches is still completely free. Just firing away, and the damage over time that thing can provide is no joke. But just not a lot of great targets.
Yeah, the Manticore is going right after the Empire Fleet Admiral. But it's just, without Boris, I don't see any way to really hold this Empire army together and kill the remaining units here. I mean, there's just so many zombies and guns.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing giving me any hope is it's kind of the Warrior Priest is still here, but as I say that, it looks like he's about to get killed. So, I don't know. The Warrior Priest gave me some hope. The Cannon's giving me a little hope, but there's too much firepower still in the corner of the Vampire Coast right now, and I think we're going to see Crusader take this and just say some really aggressive play from Migsaa in these last few battles.
Yeah, the last battle was very well played, and you know, if Boris just stayed alive, who knows how this late game could have worked out, but yeah, so many guns, it's going to be tough to really get a lot of value out of that cav, and not much infantry, as well infantry that was breakable, subject to terror.
Yeah, I mean, really good job dealing with the Mongols, but it seems like the price he paid to deal with the Mongols was too high, and he's pulling back to the Hammer of the Witches right now. That's his fortress. He's going back to the Alamo, but
yeah, looks like yeah, it's Crusader, well played to him, and GG's.
GG's all around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, as I say, that Vampire Fleet Captain took a fat cannonball to the face.
Yeah.
We got some free company.
These crew members for the Hammer of the Witches, they're saying it's not over yet.
No, they got 87 kills, and they're like, we got a few more in us.
Yeah, not over till the Fats lost her sings. But yeah, you know, killed all the Mongols, but just so many zombies at the end.
Okay, it looks like Invocation of Heck going down there too, and that's gonna be it. GG, well
I think what
played.
the Empire really needed here was keeping Boris alive and just better use of the cav. You know.
Yeah. There's definitely points where I thought he had that battle in his hands, but yeah.
He's doing a good job. It's just there are a couple. They need to be a couple units need to be more active. A lot of them were doing a good job tanking down the Mongols, but a couple units need to be a bit more active. And it was just a really good army brought by Crusader. He played very well today, so credit to him.
Yeah.
To Crusader, and congrats.
Yeah, congrats to Crusader. Very well played. Very well played to Migsaa. But yeah, in any case, I will send the prizes out to the players. Congrats, Crusader, the ultimate king of destruction. I'll post an announcement later.
Yeah, GG's to all. A lot of great games, very entertaining matchups, and yeah, thank you to all the competitors, and thank you to my son for putting it together. And yeah, I can't wait to see what Season 2 has in store.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys there, and once again, thank you for helping me co-cast Romulan. Thank you, chat, for being here, and for all of the players for being patient, sticking with us through technical difficulties. But yeah, it's been a pleasure streaming for y'all. I hope you have a wonderful day, a great night, and I will see you next time. I'm going to go hang out with my buddies for his birthday. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And to the new followers, seriously, thank you. Got to 615 today, guys. Really appreciating the love. And Kajborv, the last person to follow, thank you for that as well. In any case, congrats to all the tournament participants and great games all around. Take care of yourself. I will see you next time. I'm going to be trying to stream tomorrow if I get a chance, but it's going to be a busy day. Monday for sure. I'll see you guys next time.
And y'all, be excellent. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us.